You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
The history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball.
It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
It's a wonderful Sunday afternoon as the Freedom Festival activities around the City of Five Seasons continue to flourish, including baseball here this afternoon. The sun shining for the first time all day, and the Kernels hope to make it 3 straight over the Dayton Dragons after last night's 7-2 thumping of the Cincinnati Red minor leaguers. Tommy Mendoza was brilliant. The 18-year-old Colonel right-hander evened his record at 5-5, spinning 8 innings of 1 run, unearned run, 3-hit ball, and Jordan Renz drove in his 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th runs of the series. A 2-run homer in the first that got the Kernels off on a great start, and then a 2-run double that capped the Colonel 5-run second inning. Jordan Renz has now a team-high 15 home runs, and Jordan has driven in 50 runs this season. Our guest now on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show is the hitting coach of the Dayton Dragons, Alonzo Powell. Alonzo flourished in the Japanese ranks just less than 10 years ago. He won 2 batting titles in Japan, and Alonzo Powell is with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Alonzo, when did you play in Japan?
I ended up there 7 years. I was there from 1992 to 1998. Had a great time. Played against a lot of the guys that are here now, including Ichiro, Matsui, Hasegawa, Nomo, Irabu. Most of the guys that are here now, I played against those guys in Japan.
So, Alonzo, did you know as a player there, and you were outstanding, you were an all-star, you were a three-time batting titleist. Did you know those guys could play, and did you think, what was it that kept the Japanese the kind of barrier or wall between their great league and our big leagues? What was the reason those guys weren't discovered or come over earlier?
Well, I think the biggest thing at the time, they didn't think physically they were strong enough to play with the players in the major leagues. But, I saw Ichiro after his first year, and I was fortunate. We played them a lot in spring training. We're in different leagues. And, I said, hey, this kid can play. He can play on the moon. He's that good. He's one of the best pure hitters that I ever saw in my life. And I knew when he decided to come over because he sparked some interest. He would ask the American guys, do you think I can play in the major leagues? I said, there's no question in my mind, Ichiro. You can play in the major leagues. And to see him come over and do the things that he's doing, it's wonderful.
It sure is. Alonzo Powell got to see the guys he just mentioned, a litany of stars. Let's go back to the guy that really broke things open for the Japanese players, Alonzo, and then we'll get back to Japan and your experience. Hideo Nomo, he came over here in 95. He's had a great career. The media loved him here. The Japanese media followed his every move. Hideo Nomo had that unusual style with the hesitation at the top of his windup. Is that something that's ingrained in Japanese pitchers?
Yeah, that's their style. They kind of get to their balance point at the back of their windup and pause. And he had another unique word. They called him the tornado, where he kind of wound and it looked like the tornado. I only faced him in spring training because, again, we were in different leagues. But it was a thing where he wanted a 2-year deal in Japan. They didn't offer it to him. He said, well, I'm going to quit and go to the States. And they kind of laughed at him, like, yeah, go ahead. You can go to the States. And he went over and had all the success that he had and kind of opened the door and paved the way for the other Japanese players to come over and have some success.
Well, that's very interesting, and that gets to my next question about the culture of baseball. When you said that the powers in Japan told Nomo to go ahead and take his show to the States, I've read books in terms like strict, regimented, militaristic come up in the Japanese way of doing things in baseball. You loved it there, but I'm sure you had to get used to their way of doing things. Is it an unforgiving system, or how would you describe it?
Well, it's more of a dictatorship. I mean, trust me, the manager runs the show. It's his way or the highway. They gave me a lot of leeway as far as they didn't expect me to do all the running and all of the practice. But while I was there, I did everything that I possibly could do because I wanted to fit in. I didn't want to be that player that they say is a money-hungry American to come over to make a payday and go back home. So, I tried to adapt the best way I could. But, spring training, we would have a morning walk. The whole team would walk around the hotel at 7, stretch outside in the little golf course area in spring training. Then we would catch the bus to spring training, and about a mile and a half from the stadium, the bus would stop. Everybody would get out, walk the rest of the way to the stadium in your uniform. You got the media following you. And, it's pretty unique, but, like I told everybody, the easiest thing for me was the game because I didn't need any language. I knew the signs. Signs are universal. You don't need an interpreter for the signs. So when the ball was hit to me, I knew where to throw it. When they pitched to me, I knew I had to hit it. That was the easiest part. But, the fun things were trying to get to a restaurant at the end of the game. Now I got to get a note from my interpreter to give to the taxi to get where I was going. It was fun, but, you learn and you adapt and you have a good time.
Great attitude about that, Alonzo, because there are guys that just never got used to it. The book I'm reading about Japanese baseball cites guys like Dick Davis and Reggie Smith and Bob Horner, and they couldn't make those adjustments that you were just smiling about, talking about. Was it a vast difference for those guys? Was it a culture shock? Why could you adapt so well and other Americans couldn't?
Well, it kind of goes both ways. I think, in my opinion, a lot of the big-time major league guys, of course, in the major leagues you get spoiled a little bit. You go from the airplane to the bus. You don't go through the terminal. Now in Japan, we have to dress at the hotel on a road game. You're going through the lobby in your uniform. You got to carry all your bags. You don't have the amenities and the access that you have in the major leagues. And now once you get there, it's almost like A-ball, so to say, is the way you travel and stuff like that. But, I didn't have the success in the major leagues that these guys, and I looked at it as this is the major leagues for me. So, I'll keep my mouth shut for the most part and go out and do what I needed to do to try to be successful.
Did you become kind of a star or an icon in the minds of the Japanese fans, or are they a little bit leery of so-called outsiders penetrating their game?
It's a little bit of both. I thought it was they want you to do well, but not too well. I just played the game the way I was brought up, play it hard, play it the right way. And the city that I played in, which was Nagoya, Japan, is probably the third most popular team in Japan behind the Tokyo Giants and the Hanshin Tigers. And we had a tremendous fan base. And our fans loved the way I played. And each team has their own right field cheering section. And, they would cheer us every day, whether you're 0 for 4 or 4 for 4. And, I think they really liked the way I went about my business and played. And, I have no complaints.
A right field cheering section. Now, I've heard the fans are rabid, as soccer fans are, with flags and whistles, and they stand the whole game. Is that true?
That is very true. You have a band out in the outfield. They're playing music. Each player has their own song that they play before the game. They have the little noisemakers that have come over here now, and it's pretty tough to hear out there, but they're behind their team 100%.
A final word, a fascinating insight into the world of Japanese baseball from a great fella, Alonzo Powell. He's our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and we'll wrap things up with Zoe after this.
Serve a second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners, we make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications.
Tuna Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Dayton Dragon hitting coach Alonzo Powell spent 7 years playing in the Japanese Professional Baseball League. There are 2 of them in Japan. He's our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest. And Alonzo, let's talk about 2 more things. this afternoon. First, the field conditions themselves in Japan, the distances to the outfield, and also the composition of the field itself. How do they compare to ours?
Well, I mean, they're very similar in most parks in Japan because space is a big commodity in Japan. So the stadiums, when I first got there, were smaller down the lines, but in the gaps they were pretty legit. But down the lines they were a little smaller to compensate, I guess, for the Japanese power hitters. They try to make things a little bit easier, and most of the grass fields, the infields, are all dirt. And the reason behind that is they practice a lot, and if you had a lot of practice with grass, it would probably kill all the grass. And on a home game, you would have two batting cages going at the same time, ground balls going all over the place. So dirt was the best way to go. But the stadiums now, they have a couple brand new dome stadiums that are very comparable to the stadiums here, because I played in the old Trinichi Kyujo, what they call it, and then we moved into a $600 million dome stadium that is state-of-the-art. That's outstanding.
Finally, Alonzo, you mentioned having to use an interpreter to go to get something to eat after a game with a cab driver. How did you adjust your diet?
Well, the diet was no problem because you had a lot of American restaurants there, McDonald's, Tony Roma's, a lot of steak places there. I never had any problem with the food. I'm not a big sushi guy. We had sushi everywhere we went and fish everywhere we went. I'm not a big fish sushi guy. But, I would find a nice restaurant, go. But, I learned the language after pretty much my second year. I kind of knew what was going on. I can go out and order food, get a taxi wherever I needed to go. So communication was not that big of a problem. But, I learned, and we had a very, very funny manager who I called him the Bobby Knight of Japan. He was a really, really aggressive manager, known to do some crazy things, and we had a good time.
Alonzo, pal, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much. One final question. Is Bobby Valentine managing over there?
Yes, he is. He was the first. Actually, he won the championship last year. He's the first foreign manager to win the championship. He manages the Chiba Lotte Marines, and they won the championship last year there in the Pacific League, which is the so-called unpopular league, which you would almost compare to the American League. The Central League is the most popular league because the Tokyo Giants play there. They're pretty much like the New York Yankees of Japan. But Bobby's having a lot of success. When I was actually playing in Japan, he came there, turned the team a perennial loser, turned them around to a over 500 team. They ended up losing out in the last week, not making the playoffs. And he got fired, came back, managed here a little bit with the Mets. Then he went back to Japan and is having a lot of success right now. But, he's doing well. I was fortunate to play with Bobby. We had a benefit game when they had the big earthquake in Kobe. So we had the foreign players against the American players, and Bobby managed that team. And we had a great time because we never got together. All American players got together, and we went and played the Japanese All-Stars. And I'll never forget Bobby said before the game, hey, we got nothing to gain but everything to lose before this game. So let's go out there and show these guys how to play some American baseball. And we ended up winning the game. And Julio Franco was on that team. A guy got a double, and Julio was sitting in front of me. He says, well, I'm going to hit a ground ball to second base, and you get a base hit and get him in. Let's show him how to do it. The next pitch, Julio hits a ground ball to second base, gets the guy over. I get a base hit. We end up winning the game. And then after the game, we played a nice gag on Bobby. We all went to the hotel bar upstairs, charged up about a $2,000 bar tab, and we politely billed it to Bobby's room. So he woke up, and I'm sure he liked that gag that we played on him. It was pretty good.
Alonzo Powell, thank you so much. This has been wonderful and gracious of you to take this time. I can tell just by your demeanor you really loved your time in Japan, and we appreciate you sharing your experiences with us here to our listening audience. Alonzo, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Alonzo Powell, Dayton Dragon hitting coach, great, outstanding professional, and we appreciate all of his time and recollections on his time in Japan. Up next, series finale starting lineups, Kernels and Dragons here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team.
Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
After an overcast morning, it's turned into a brilliant sunny Sunday afternoon, and the Kernels are playing the Dayton Dragons in the series finale of this 8-game homestand. This is the 4th game of an 8-game homestand. We'll spring back into action tomorrow on the 3rd of July, a 2 o'clock game. This afternoon, the Kernels send Anthony Ortega to the hill. Anthony's a 20-year-old Venezuelan right-hander. He'll be making his Kernel debut, and he'll be opposed by right-hander Carlos Fisher for the Dragons. The Kernels have won the last 2 nights, 8-4 Friday night, behind a complete game effort from Moose Mosbach. And then last night, the Kernels broke loose with 7 runs in the first 2 innings, and behind Tommy Mendoza, 18-year-old Kernel right-hander, beat the Dragons 7-2. We welcome you to Veterans Memorial Stadium, and it's time now to set the starting lineups for the series finale and the last game between our 2 ball clubs this season. During the regular season, the Kernels have now beaten the Dragons 5 out of 7 times. Or check that, 4 out of 7. Leading off in left field for Dayton is Mike Griffin. Griffin is 3rd in the league with 24 doubles. Adam Rosales will play shortstop, and Rosales will hit 2nd for Dayton. Batting 3rd, one of the best prospects in the Midwest League, Cincinnati Red first-round draft pick last year out of Beaumont, Texas, center fielder Jay Bruce. Bruce is leading the Midwest League with 47 extra base hits, and he's a left-handed batter. Out of Princeton, switch-hitting right fielder B.J. Szymanski will bat cleanup for the Dragons. Batting 5th, Eric Eyman, E-Y-M-A-N-N, Eyman at 3rd base for Dayton. Designated hitter is batting 6th for the Dragons, Bobby Mosby. He's 6'1", 290. Hitting 7th in his 4th year with the Dragons at first base, Jabalito Hernandez. Chris DeNovi will catch and hit 8th, and batting 9th for the Dragons at 2nd base, Mike DeJesus. Making his 16th start of the year with no complete games on the mound for the Dragons is Carlos Fisher. Fisher is from Lewis and Clark State College in Lewiston, Idaho. He resides in California. The 23-year-old 6'4" right-handed Fisher has won 7 and lost 4, an outstanding ERA of 3.22 for Carlos Fisher of the Dayton Dragons. The Kernels beat this hurler, Fisher, back on May 11th at Fifth Third Field in Dayton. The Kernels beat Fisher 6-4. Carlos went 5 innings back on May 11th, gave us 5 runs, only 2 earned on 7 hits. Carlos Fisher struck out 4 and walked none. Right-hander Carlos Fisher on the hill with his 7-4 record and 3.22 ERA for Dayton. Allen Motor Company, as always, is proud to present the Kernel starting lineup. Allen's is featuring a great deal right now on 2005 Buick LeSabre Customs. Plush, lush, and affordably priced at Allen Motor Company are the 2005 Buick LeSabre Customs for as little as $199 a month. That's just $13,890 for the car. You can enjoy the plush, lush, affordably priced 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom at Allen Motor Company. And if you buy now, your first year's maintenance is on Allen's. That's right. If you buy that 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom now, your first year's maintenance is free at Allen Motor Company. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Leading it off in center field is Brad Kuhn. Kuhn is 12 for 28 against Dayton pitching this year, and he leads the league with 29 steals. Batting second, Larry Infante. He's been the hottest Kernel hitter the last 3 weeks. Larry will be at second base with his .228 average. Heinle Stacia has mauled Dayton pitching this season. Heinle is batting over .500 against Dragon pitching, 15 for 28. The Kernel switch-hitting shortstop will bat third. Jordan Renz has driven in 6 runs in the last 2 Kernel wins. Jordan's the designated hitter. All-star Jordan Renz will bat cleanup for the Kernels in the Allen Motor Company order. Batting fifth at first base is Mark Trumbo. Brett Martinez will be behind the plate and hit 6 for the Kernels. Batting seventh in right field, Madison Edwards. At third base, Dallas Morris. Morris will hit 8th in the Allen Motor Company lineup. And batting ninth, Stantrell Smith. the left fielder. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, making his Kernel debut, 20-year-old right-hander Anthony Ortega. Anthony was 7-4 with the Dominican Summer League Angels last year. He's from Venezuela, 6 feet even, 170. Anthony Ortega. That's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. 84 degrees, sun shining brightly. We've got a great day to conclude our series against the Dragons. Anderson & Brown Eye Care sponsors the umpires. Anderson & Brown Eye Care is your full-service comprehensive eye care center. Their new location is easy in, easy out, Boyson Road, Hiawatha, right off I-380. Dr. Todd Brown and Dr. Tom Anderson stand ready to serve your eye care needs, including a complete examination, and then you can pick out your glasses and or contact lenses right on site, thanks to Anderson & Brown Eye Care. Things are coming into focus in Anderson & Brown Eye Care, and they sponsor our umpires. Brad Purdom, P-U-R-D-O-M, will be behind the plate. His partner on the diamond, Anthony West. We'll pause now at Veterans Memorial Stadium to honor America with the singing of the national anthem. One of our favorite national anthem singers will sing it, and it's Sue Sample.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. It's being performed today by Sue Sample.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so fondly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
Well, no one can really sing the national anthem as well as Sue Sample. Sue Sample singing the Star-Spangled Banner prior to the series finale between the Kernels and Dragons on this gorgeous 84-degree sunny afternoon. The members of the Cost Cutters Dream Team are dashing off the diamond, and the Kernels will have a newcomer, Anthony Ortega, on the hill. Anthony will face Mike Griffin, Adam Rosales, and Jay Bruce, the top three in the Dayton order. Anthony Ortega last pitched Monday in Casper, Wyoming for the Orem Owls, and he pitched very well. In Casper, Wyoming, Anthony Ortega on Monday went 7 innings for Orem, allowed 1 run on 4 hits, struck out 7 Casper Rockies, walked none. Anthony Ortega started 14 games last year with the Dominican Summer League Angels and was 7-4 with an ERA of under 1. The 20-year-old right-hander Anthony Ortega wearing a long-sleeve red shirt underneath his Colonel White home jersey. This is one of the nicest days we've had all season to play baseball. It was overcast most of the morning and during the early part of the afternoon, but the skies have cleared, the sun is shining brightly, and the Kernels try to go a game above the 500 mark in the second half. Our second half record, 5 wins, 5 losses. Here at home on the year, the Kernels have won 18 and lost 20. We're playing a Dayton ball club that is also 5-5 in the second half and 40-40 overall. The Dragons have played 500 ball at home, 21-21, and 500 ball on the road, 19-19. They're a very fine hitting ball club, 256 team average. They're second in the league in home runs with 53, yet the Kernels have shackled the Dayton offense. Dayton is hitting a lowly 221 against Kernel pitching so far in 7 previous games. The Dragons won it 4-3 Thursday night to start the series, erasing an early 3-0 Colonel lead, but the Colonels bounced back with some offense that has been sorely lacking this season. 8-4 winners Friday night, and last night with Jordan Renz driving in 4 of the Colonels' 7 runs. The Colonels whipped Dayton 7-2. Settle in with us for a wonderful afternoon of baseball here on 1600 AM, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG. The game's first pitch from the Colonel right-hander is a fastball for a strike, a letter-high fastball to the .279 hitting leadoff batter, Mike Griffin. Griffin has 4 hits in 13 at-bats so far in the series, 2 for 4 last night. Griffin whistles the 0-1 pitch foul past third, where Billy Gardner Jr., a thin-as-a-rail skipper for the Dayton Dragons, coaches well behind third base. Mike Griffin tripled in an unearned run in the 6th inning to put the Dragons on the board last night. Then he singled and scored in the 9th inning. Right-handed hitter with a low crouch, and he cuts at a changeup and misses. Mike Griffin fans on 3 pitches to start this afternoon's action. Griffin, with his 24 doubles, among the league leaders in that department, 3rd in the league, has fanned to start this afternoon's ball game, and now the batter for the Dragons is Adam Rosales. Rosales didn't play in last night's Colonel 7-2 victory. Tall right-handed hitter, and he whistles the first pitch foul straight back. We're just underway here at Veterans Memorial Stadium on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Rosales, a .234 hitter in 12 games. Adams from Western Michigan University, and he hits a towering pop-up to shallow third. Dallas Morris comes halfway down the third baseline in fair ground by about 5 feet, and Adam Rosales is popped up to third. There are 2 away here in the Dragon first inning. Well, so far so good for Anthony Ortega, the 20-year-old Venezuelan right-hander. He now has to face one of the best hitters in the Midwest League, a .310 hitting Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce has 5 hits and 12 at-bats in this series for the Dragons. He goes up pumping and fouls one over the grandstand roof to the left of the plate. Strike 1. Jay Bruce is a big fella, only 19 years old, 6'3", 220, open stance, holds his hands high above his back black batting helmet, his back ear, and takes high. Ball 1 from Anthony Ortega, the Colonel newcomer. 2 away. Nobody on for the Dragons here in the top of the first inning. And a fastball is upstairs. 2-1 now to Bruce, who's whacked 11 home runs, driven in 54 runs. Jay is 3rd in the Midwest League with those 54 RBIs, and he leads the league with 31 doubles. Ball 3 is a fastball upstairs. Jay Bruce doubled home an unearned run in the 9th inning last night against Chris Howell. Bruce has 5 RBIs in this series against the Colonels. The 3-1 is cut on and missed on a fastball on the outer half. And the count full now to the Dayton 19-year-old All-Star Jay Bruce. Wears a pair of black batting gloves, uses a black lacquer bat, and tomahawks the 3-2 pitch foul off to the left. The Colonels go with Stantrell Smith in left today, Brad Kuhn in center, and Madison Edwards in right. Dallas Morris is playing almost 25 feet off the line at third as the Colonels play Jay Bruce as a rank pull hitter. Another payoff delivery. Up and away, ball 4, an Anthony Ortega fastball was high and outside, and a 2-out walk issued to Jay Bruce. Bruce has good speed. The Dragons themselves rank near the bottom of the league in steals. They've stolen 56 bases in 80 games, and that ranks them 13th in the 14-team Midwest League. Bruce himself, though, is 9 for 16 in stolen base attempts. Here's switch-hitting Dragon cleanup batter B.J. Szymanski. First name is Brandon, and he's 23 years old, 6'5", 205. Fastball clocked at 93 miles an hour on the Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator is upstairs. And Anthony Ortega takes a moment to go back behind the rubber and squeeze the rosin bag. Now Anthony comes set just below the letters. The 1-0. Breaking pitch high, and that's ball 2. B.J. Szymanski's hitting .230. He was nothing for 4 last night. He's socked a dozen home runs this year, driven in 39, and has 17 doubles. Szymanski played in 50 games for the Dragons last year, hit .262 with 10 homers, 26 RBIs. He's from Wichita Falls, Texas, and he was a Red second-round pick in 2004 out of Princeton. Szymanski is very trim and lean, wears his Dragon black socks up high, and is ahead in the count 2-0. Jay Bruce draws a throw, and a late tag by Mark Trumbo. Trumbo thought he had the runner out. Up the middle for the Kernels this afternoon, all-star shortstop Heinle Stacia at short, and hot-hitting second baseman Larry Infante playing that number 4 slot. 4 numbered position on the scoring diamond. Here's ball 3 high and outside, and now Brett Martinez trots out onto the dirt path carved between the mound and the home plate area. Brett is wearing red shin guards, a red chest protector, and he's trying to settle down Anthony Ortega, who has hit a mild streak of wildness here in the first inning. He walked Jay Bruce on a 3-2 pitch. He's behind Szymanski 3-0. BJ may be swinging here. It's low, ball 4. So 2 walks coming with 2 out here in the first, and let's see if Kernan Ronan has a Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation with Anthony Ortega, the Colonel right-hander. No, he is not. Kernan Ronan is going to stay put in the Colonel first base dugout. Ortega got the first 2 Dragons, but has walked the next 2. Here's Eric Eyman, 1 for 4 last night. He reached on an infield single in the 7th. Eyman is a tall right-handed batter out of Kansas State, lives in Omaha, Nebraska. Eric Eyman, narrow stance, and a breaking pitch drops in for a strike called. What an afternoon for baseball. Just gorgeous. We'll be right here again tomorrow. Game 5 of our 8-game homestand, a series opener against Burlington. Fastball high and a snap throw to first by Brett Martinez sends B.J. Szymanski sliding in feet first. 1-1 to Eric Eyman. Eyman's a .258 hitter on the year, with 3 home runs, 22 runs driven in. Spells his last name E-Y-M-A-N-N. Stands straight away with a narrow stance from the right side and grounds a curve to third. Dallas Morris picks it up and takes the easy play right in front of him. Steps on third to force Jay Bruce, and that ends the Dragon first inning. Eric Eyman forces Jay Bruce at third on a ground ball to Dallas Morris. No runs in the first for the Dragons. No hits, 2 walks. There were no Colonel errors, and Dayton leaves a pair. After 1/2 inning on this magnificent Sunday afternoon, it's Dayton nothing, and the Colonels coming to bat. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, yep, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Aha! Yes!
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family's blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Tanya Sedlock is here this afternoon along with Phil Andrews. They're out on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, enjoying the action with clients and friends. We welcome Phil Andrews and Tanya Sedlock, two of the most outstanding Pekin insurance agents. I'll tell you what, they're great folks. Also out on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, a big group from ADM, Archer's Daniel Midland. Brad Kuhn will lead off for the Kernels. Brad's had a tremendous series, 6 hits and 14 at-bats, left-handed hitter. And strike one on the outside corner from right-hander Carlos Fisher out of Lewis and Clark State College in Lewiston, Idaho. He was 4-4 with Billings last year in 8 starts and 7 relief appearances. Brad Kuhn hits it hard up the middle, backhanded by the shortstop Rosales, throws high. And safe is Brad Kuhn. I don't know if it'll be an infield single all the way for Brad Kuhn. Brad Kuhn slapped it to the left of the mound. It took a big hop to the left of the shortstop Rosales. I said Adam Rosales backhanded it. He did not. He stabbed it to the left of his body, whirled and threw off balance from shallow center field, and his throw was just a bit late and high. Jabalito Hernandez, a tall first baseman, had to leap off the bag. And Brad Kuhn is now a remarkable 13 for 29 against Dayton pitching this season. Here's Larry Infante, who didn't play last night because Travis Wood, a left-hander, was on the mound for Dayton. And the Kernels wound up knocking out Travis Wood in the second inning. Larry Infante has hit safely in his last 4 games. He was 4 for 5 here in the Kernel 8-4 win on Friday night. Larry takes low ball 1. Brad Kuhn aboard on an infield single to start the Kernel first inning. The Kernels have had great success against the Dragon pitching staff this season. We're hitting .285 as a team against Dayton. Compare that with our overall team batting average of .236. We're 12th in the 14-team Midwest League in hitting with that .236 average. Larry Infante waits for the 1-0. Kuhn is running, and the right-hander steps off, throws to second, just in time. Brad Kuhn tried to tiptoe his way to second base and steal the bag, but he's thrown out in his bid to notch his 30th stolen base of the year. The caught stealing went pitcher to shortstop. Brad just tiptoed literally towards second base, and the Dragons yelled at Carlos Fisher to turn and throw. He did, and he threw out Brad Kuhn. Now strike one to Larry Infante. Interesting move by Brad Kuhn to try to steal that base by catching the pitcher napping. Ball 2 is high and away to Larry Infante. Larry, in his last 4 games, is 9 for 15. 9 for 15, and he lifts the next pitch foul into the third base grass slope seating berm parallel to the left field line. A youngster down there snares it, and that kid is on the Rockwell Collins LED video board. He's earned himself a lifetime honorary Colonel contract and a free spaghetti dinner to Zio Giano's. Fisher's fastball is high and outside, and it's a full count now to Larry Infante. Yes, Larry drove in 3 runs, scored 3 times, had a 2-run homer in the Colonel win, and he cracks a base hit into left field in the Colonel win on Friday night. Larry accomplished all those things. Larry Infante continues his torrid streak at the plate. Larry is now 10 for his last 16. Larry Infante 10 for his last 16. Here's another Colonel hot hitter, switch hitting shortstop Heinle Stacia. Heinle 15 for 28 against Dragon pitching. Looks at a slider for a strike called. Carlos Fisher's been tough this year, a 7-4 record, although we beat him on May 11th in Dayton 6-4. In 81 innings, Fisher has allowed only 75 hits, struck out 60 in 81 innings, walked only 22. Carlos throws to first and chases Larry Infante back standing up. Heinle Stacia, 4 for 5 last night. 6 for 11 in this series. The runner goes in a high drive into right, sends Szymanski back. He misread it. It sails over his head, goes to the wall. Here comes Infante. Homa heading home. He'll score. The throw to third. Stacia out, trying to stretch an RBI double into a triple. But Heinle Stacia has given the Kernels a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning by belting a double over the head of B.J. Szymanski in right. Heinle Stacia's double drives home Larry Infante, and it's 1-0 Kernels here in the bottom of the first inning. Heinle Stacia, with his team-high 21st double of the year, is now 16 for 29 against Dayton pitching, and he drove home Infante, who was running on the play, and that gives the Kernels a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Jordan Renz takes strike one called. Now Jordan, who's been swinging a very good bat of late, fouls one high into the backstop, strike two rather. The first pitch was a strike to Jordan. Larry Infante, socking a double over the head of B.J. Szymanski with Infante running, has given the Kernels a 1-0 lead. Look out, a pitch high and in, has Jordan Renz leaning back. Jordan Renz has driven in 6 runs in the last 2 Kernel wins. Last night, Jordan slugged a 2-out, 2-run home run in the first over the center field wall, and then he had a 2-run double in the Kernel 5-run second inning that gave us a 7-0 lead, and knocked out Dayton starter Travis Wood. Ball 2 in the dirt to Jordan Renz. Renz has his average up to 245, second in the league with 15 home runs, fifth in the league with 50 RBIs. A dozen of his 50 runs driven in have come against the Dragons. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. Jordan Renz strikes out to end the Kernel first. 1 run up for the Kernels on 3 base hits. There were no Dragon errors, and the Kernels lose 2 men on the base paths and leave the bases empty. After 1 inning, Kernels lead the Dragons 1-0. You're enjoying Kernel baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
So come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for the Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll...
Leading off the second, and he rolls one to third, barehanded by Dallas Morris, throws in the dirt, out! What a great play by Dallas Morris. He took an infield single away from the 290-pound, 6'1" slugger, Bobby Mosby. Dallas Morris had to charge that weakly hit chopper, and Dallas barehanded and on 2 hops, and then in one fell swoop threw in the dirt. Mark Trumbo dug it out, and Bobby Mosby has been retired on an outstanding defensive play by the Kernel third baseman Dallas Morris with a big assist. Here's a line drive that almost undressed Anthony Ortega. Back up the middle, a single by Jovelito Hernandez. So after the great play at third by Dallas Morris, Jovelito Hernandez bashed one right back through the middle, and it almost struck Kernel 20-year-old right-hander Anthony Ortega, It's a one-out single for Jabalito Hernandez. Boy, Jabalito was ready for that fastball. Now Chris DeNovi will bat. DeNovi played in the Thursday night series opener for the Dragons, went 1 for 3, doubled with one out, and scored in Dayton's 2-run fifth inning on Thursday night. DeNovi, a right-handed hitter, takes high, ball one, a changeup. Chris DeNovi hitting 192 on the year, 1 homer, 12 RBIs. He is the backup catcher, if you will, to starter Craig Tatum. Ball 2 misses inside to Chris. Chris DeNovi has played in 33 of the 80 Dragon games. 1 on, 1 out, 1-0 Kernels, top of the second inning. The 2-0 is smacked foul straight back to the screen by Chris DeNovi. 32nd round pick of the Reds out of UCLA. 23-year-old, 6'1", 200. I still remember my first year in this league. We had a shortstop named Gar Valone out of UCLA. The 2-1 to Chris DeNovi is high, ball 3. Lurking on deck is the number 9 hitter who hit leadoff last night, Mike DeJesus. He's a left-handed batter. Dayton in their gray road uniforms with green numbers trimmed in, or black numbers trimmed in green, black socks, black hats, black batting helmets. Ball 4 is high and in to the 192 hitter, and that puts the Colonel 1-0 lead in jeopardy as Chris DeNovi draws the third walk already issued this afternoon by 20-year-old Venezuelan right-hander Anthony Ortega. Now it's Brett Martinez, Larry Infante coming in to try to boost the spirits of the 20-year-old Venezuelan right-hander, Anthony Ortega. Anthony's wearing a long-sleeve red shirt underneath his white Colonel home jersey, and the Dragons have 2 on and 1 out for Mike DeJesus, a left-handed batter. DeJesus is batting .251. 2 homers, 23 runs driven in. He was 0 for 4 last night. Dragons only had 5 hits as Tommy Mendoza pitched 8 magnificent innings, allowed only 1 run. It was unearned on 3 hits. Hernandez at second, DeNovi at first for the Dragons, and a beautiful let-up drops in for a strike called from the Colonel right-hander. Ortega's not a big fella. He's only 6 feet tall, only 20 years old. DeJesus stands straight away from the left side. The 0-1. Curve, strike 2 called at the knees. The Dragons have taken a lot of pitches against this Colonel youngster making his debut in the Midwest League. 2 on, 1 out for the Dragons here in the top of the second. 1-0 Kernels. The number 9 hitter DeJesus has not swung at a pitch yet. The 0-2. Ooh, just low. A changeup. Just low. 1-0 Kernels on an RBI double from All-Star shortstop Heinley Stacia in the bottom of the first inning. DeJesus pops it up. This should be playable behind the plate. Brett Martinez staggers underneath it and has it. Brett Martinez had to battle the sun and a high sky. That ball came back towards the third base line. Brett Martinez staggered and then took a tumble, but Brett held on. Mike DeJesus is fouled out to the Colonel catcher for the second out here in the Dragons' second inning. Now Mike Griffin, who started the action this afternoon by striking out on 3 pitches, will bat with 2 on and 2 out in the Dayton second inning. Mike Griffin, out of Baylor University, Cincinnati's 14th round pick last year, 22 years old, right-handed hitter, takes upstairs for a ball. Mike's 5'10", 195. He was born in Corpus Christi, Texas. They have a Texas League affiliate now down in Corpus Christi. Unfortunately, that's kind of hurricane country. Breaking ball at Dandy, strike 1 to Griffin. I can't even begin to give justice to what a beautiful day we have here this afternoon. It is absolutely gorgeous. 84 degrees. With 2 on and 2 out, Griffin bounces it to third. Dallas Morris feeds Infante for the force out of the sliding Cristinovi, and Anthony Ortega prevents the Dragons from scoring here in the second inning by getting Mike Griffin on a ground out, a bounce out to third, forcing Cristinovi. No runs for Dayton in the second. 1 hit, a walk. There were no Colonel errors, and the Dragons leave 2 men on. They've stranded 4. After an inning and a half, with Myron Noodleman about to make his first appearance, it's the Kernels 1 and the Dragons nothing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
Summer is the best time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center has the finest quality flowers and plants for indoors and outdoors, plus all the expert advice you need to make your flowers and plants grow their best. Whether a single flower or an arrangement, a single houseplant or a yard of landscaping, Peck's does it all. Family owned and serving Eastern Iowa since 1956, Peck's offers their customers the best plants and flowers available. Peck's is your professional and award-winning STD and Teleflora florist, certified and year-round garden center, nursery and landscape center, and plant and flower headquarters. Stop in often for Peck's fresh flowers and feature fresh-cut short-stem roses for just $11.99 per dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, nursery and landscaping, at the corner of Blair Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast.
That's Colonel Broadcast Assistant Lovita Hill, who will be along in a little bit to talk to one of our special guests during the 4th inning this afternoon, Gary Sevick of ComSpeed, their slogan, Internet at the Speed of Light. Right now, we go to the bottom of the second inning. Myron Noodleman just did a welcome routine in front of the Colonel dugout. Myron is in a black sports blazer and then trousers that have been pulled up as though Myron's ready for a flood. Myron Noodleman is here this afternoon. 1-0 Kernels as we go to the second inning. Bottom of the second, that is. Mark Trumbo is first up for the Kernels. Mark didn't play last night. He was 1 for 4. And he, in the Colonel win on Friday night, he grounds one to the left side. A diving stop by Eric Iman, who pops to his feet and throws Trumbo out. Mark Trumbo had a base hit taken away from him on an outstanding play at third by Eric Iman, who dove to his left. Mark cracked it hard on the ground. Mark Trumbo capped the Colonel 3-run first inning here on Friday night with an RBI sacrifice fly. He also doubled leading off the third inning. He's retired on a first pitch, and ball one is low to strike one on the outside corner to Brett Martinez. 1-0 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Carlos Fisher misses high. 1-1 to the Colonel catcher, batting sixth in the Allen Motor Company order, Brett Martinez. Brett singles into center. That ball was up in the zone, and Brett whacked it hard into center where Jay Bruce retrieves it, and the Kernels have their 4th hit of the day off of right-hander Carlos Fisher. This Dayton pitching staff is ranked 9th in the 14-team Midwest League with a 3.79 ERA. Carlos Fisher is well below that team ERA. His earned run average 3.22. Madison Edwards is now at the plate. Madison batting .135, no homers, 2 RBIs. Left-handed hitter. And a fastball poured in for a strike call to Madison Edwards, who caught the series opener here Thursday night. Madison playing in his 41st game for the Kernels. He's out of Texas Tech. Brett Martinez has a short lead at first, being held by Jabalito Hernandez. The 0-1 to Edwards. up and away for a ball. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel Farm system. Last night, the Angels stomped the Dodgers 9-2 at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Former Colonel catcher Mike Napoli was 2 for 3 with 2 home runs against the Dodgers. Mike Napoli's making a very strong bid to be an American League Rookie of the Year candidate. Former Colonel shortstop Tommy Murphy was 1 for 1, scored twice, and former Colonel All-Star shortstop Eric Ibar 0 for 1, as the Angels had a 9-2 romp over the Dodgers in the Freeway Series. Ball 2 drifts outside to Madison Edwards. AAA Salt Lake raised their record to an impressive 49-33 behind former Colonel lefty from Virginia Tech Joe Saunders. Joe Saunders beat Sacramento 8-5, and Joe Saunders is now 10-3 for Salt Lake. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss by Madison. Throw to second in time. And a caught stealing. Brett Martinez is thrown out by the catcher, Christianovi. It went catcher to shortstop, Adam Rosales, 2-6 on the putout. Madison Edwards on a hit and run, swung at a pitch high and outside for strike 2. So the bases are empty now, 2 gone in the Colonel's second inning. Former Colonel third baseman, first baseman Mike Elwood was 2 for 4 last night with a home run and 2 RBIs in the Salt Lake 8-5 win over Sacramento. Arkansas played a doubleheader. The payoff pitch to Madison is bounced to the right side, and it's the first baseman, Jabalito Hernandez, gathering it in on 2 hops and then feeding the pitcher with a lead underhand toss to get Madison Edwards. That play went first base to pitcher 3-1. We'll get back to Halo happenings in the top of the third inning. Here in the second, no runs for the Kernels, 1 hit. There were no Dayton errors, and the Kernels leave nobody aboard. We go to the top of the third inning, and it's the Kernels on top of the Dragons, 1-0. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Pepsi Smash.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and like you got those butterflies every time when you call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmurfs.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmurfs.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8/6/06. Ringtones must be downloaded by 8/20/06. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
On this beautiful Sunday afternoon, we go to the top of the third inning. It'll be Adam Rosales to lead off against 20-year-old Colonel right-hander Anthony Ortega, who drops a slip pitch, a changeup in for a strike called. 1-0 Kernels. Rosales, a right-handed hitter with a straightaway stance, plays off a fastball high and away. Halo happenings in a doubleheader in the Texas League last night. Brandon Wood was 2 for 4 with an RBI, but Tulsa beat Arkansas in the first game of a twin bill 6-4. In the second game, Rafael Rodriguez, former Colonel right-hander, won his third game of the year, and former Colonel Greg Porter was 4 for 4 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs. Brandon Wood slugged his 18th home run as Arkansas. Here's a ground ball to third. Glove to his left by Dallas Morris. His throw is high, but Mark Trumbo reaches up to snare it. Adam Rosales hit it hard on 3 hops to the third baseman, Dallas Morris, who took care of it, 1 away here in the Dayton third inning. Brandon Wood slugged his 18th homer of the year as Arkansas clobbered Tulsa 9-3. Boy, Brandon Wood has 18 home runs for AA Arkansas. Jay Bruce walked in the first inning for the Dragons. He swings and laces the first pitch foul straight back. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill, it's imperative that we remind folks about tomorrow. Tomorrow's game as Bruce loops the next pitch foul off to the left. Tomorrow's game starts at 2 o'clock.
That's right. Come to tomorrow's game and you'll see the Kernels not wearing their usual uniforms. Yes. They'll be wearing 1906 Bunnies uniforms, which are to be auctioned off during and after the game. Yes, and Luvita, you're right. They are striking uniforms. An 0-2 pitch to Bruce is a change-up low. And those entire uniforms, jersey, trousers, socks, and hats, will be auctioned off during and after the game. 1906 vintage uniforms to be worn by the Kernels of the Cedar Rapids Bunnies. Here's a curve laced into right field for a base hit. Jay Bruce, one of the best young hitters I've seen in this league, waited back on a slow breaking pitch from Anthony Ortega and rammed it hard to the left of Larry Infante into right field for a one-out single. The Kernels have out-hit the Dragons 4-2 and lead the Dragons 1-0. Here's B.J. Szymanski. That's not all that's going on tomorrow, Luvita. That's right. Tomorrow is Iowa Public Television Red Green Day here at the ballpark.
The gates open at 1. The game starts at 2. And that great jersey promotion or uniform promotion is being done in conjunction with two outstanding local entities. Luvita will highlight them in a moment. A throw to first, runner out! Oh, the Kernels have picked off Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce is picked off by Anthony Ortega. Yes, indeed. Jay Bruce was leaning, and Anthony Ortega whirled and threw to first, and Mark Trumbo put the tag on Jay Bruce, and there are two gone here in the Dayton third inning, 1-0 Kernels. The 1906 vintage Cedar Rapids Bunny uniforms, Luvita, are being underwritten by
the Cedar Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Cedar Rapids Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, and we hope to have Tim Boyle and Amy Johnson from those respective organizations with us tomorrow afternoon. Ball strike one on the outside corner to Szymanski. B.J. winces at the call by the plate umpire, Brad Purdom. What a day here today. Luvita, I noticed that the little fellow that was the shortstop on the Cost Cutters Dream Team had his father come out to the position with him with a tripod and take a picture of him. Actually, John, there's a photographer here. I'm not sure where he's from, but he asked me before we went out if it would be okay for him to take photographs of the kids on the Dream Team. And I told him it's fine with me, but he has to contact their parents and, talk to them about it. But, yeah, he took a picture of the young girl at first base and the shortstop. Wow. Here's a swing and a miss, strike three on B.J. Szymanski. 3 shutout innings for 20-year-old right-hander Anthony Ortega, making his Colonel debut here today. No runs for the Dragons in the third. 1 hit. That man picked off by Ortega, Jay Bruce. There were no Colonel errors, and Dayton leaves the bases empty. They've stranded 4 runners in 3 innings. And after 2.5 on this lovely Sunday afternoon, Colonels lead Dayton 1-0. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel Team Physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Trust has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Trust is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Kernels' parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Trust to care for our players. Myron Doodleman just did some sort of dance routine or jig with two Kernel players, Chris Howell and Tim Madison. Boy, Myron's been highly entertaining, as he always is when he comes to town. Everybody having fun here this afternoon. 1-0 Kernels. Here's a pitch smashed off the end of the bat of Dallas Morris, pass first and foul ground. It's gloved by Jabalito Hernandez, strike one. Dallas Morris batting for the first time today. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Kernels. Dallas Morris hitting .215, 5 homers, 26 RBIs for the Ragin' Cajun from Louisiana Lafayette. And Carlos Fisher gets, well, I thought that was a called strike. Ball one high and in to Dallas Morris. Dallas, 0 for 4 last night. Hits one high in the air to deep left. Way back, it's at the wall. Oh, into the whirling waters. It's 96.5 FM. Whirling waters, home run hot tub. 2-0 Kernels here in the bottom of the third inning. Number 6 for Dallas Morris. Kernels here in the bottom of the third inning. Dallas Morris making Phil Andrews one of the happiest guys in the stands. Phil Andrews and his party out on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion got that home run ball by Dallas Morris. Dallas has just earned himself a $100 shopping spree in Westdale Mall by slugging his 6th home run of the year onto the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters home run hot tub. Swing and a miss by Stantrell after he's fouled one back. Stantrell Smith, the number 9 hitter in the Kernel order, is jammed, and he bounces it back to the mound, gloved by Carlos Fisher on to first for the first out of the inning. Stantrell Smith has bounced back to the hill. Boy, this crowd's still buzzing about that home run onto the Whirling Waters Mix 96.5 FM Westdale Mall home run hot tub by Dallas Morris to give the Kernels a 2-0 lead. Brad Kuhn singled but was caught trying to steal second in the first inning. It was Brad's 7th hit of the series. Fastball is in for a changeup, in for a strike to Brad, who faked a bunt. Let's finish up with our Halo Happenings results from around the Angel organization last night. Rancho Cucamonga beat Inland Empire 6-5. The Quakes, Nate Sutton, former Kernel second baseman for last year, was 2 for 3. Josh LeBlanc and Sean Rodriguez, both part of the Kernel team last year, had 2 RBIs. As Rancho won, here's a ground ball, pass first, diving stop by Jabalito Hernandez. Bounces to his feet, beats the Kernel batter Kuhn to the base, and Jabalito Hernandez just took away a double, if not a triple, from Brad Kuhn. Brad Kuhn cranked a one-hop line shot past first. Jabalito Hernandez left his feet, a headlong sprawling dive, 12 feet behind the base. He stabbed it and then got to his feet and stepped on first to retire Kuhn. That was some play by Jabalito Hernandez. Now a swing and a miss by Larry Infante, strike one. Larry singled and scored in the Kernel first inning. It's 2-0 Kernels here in the bottom of the third inning. Here's a ground ball, backhanded by the third baseman, Iman. He throws out Infante. Those are 2 of the best defensive plays we've seen at the corners this season. One by Jabalito Hernandez to Rob Kuhn. The second at third by Eric Iman to take a sure base hit away from Larry Infante. One run for the Kernels in the third on the leadoff homer by Dallas Morris. That's another $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir from PRC's Community Care in PRC's Community Care Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. And the PRC's Community Care has now donated $1,175 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. One run for the Kernels on one hit. Should have been two more, but outstanding plays at the corners by the Dayton fielders at third and first. There were no Dayton errors, and the Kernels leave the bases empty. We go to the fourth inning. Our special guest, Gary Sevick, should be joining us shortly from ComSpeed. After three, Kernels lead Dayton 2-0 here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Eric Eyman is even on the count, 1-1 as we go to the top of the fourth inning. And the Kernels own a 2-0 lead over the Dragons. An RBI double by Stacia in the first, and a leadoff home run onto the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Westdale Mall Whirling Waters home run hot tub in the third by Dallas Morris. A bouncer back to the hill, knocked down by Anthony Ortega. He fumbled it, but then regained control, and he throws out Eric Eyman to start the Dayton fourth inning. One away here in the Dragon fourth. What a beautiful day it is. Eric Eyman is retired on a comebacker, and now here's Bobby Mosby. Great picture of Colonel. Here's a high drive slugged into left center, way back, and way out of here. Well, the 290-pound Bobby Mosby slugs his seventh home run of the year to give the Dragons their first run and cut the Colonel lead to 2-1. Bobby Mosby muscled up and cleared the left center field wall. He pays tribute to the heavens as he points skyward after his seventh home run of the year. That one went over the 375 mark. It went over the Five Seasons Transportation and Parking Tri-Vision sign onto 8th Avenue. Bobby Mosby powering the Dragons back into this game. They're down 2-1. And now Joselito Hernandez is at the plate. Have a nice picture of Colonel Equipment Manager Ron Pline in civilian clothes with John, Colonel Batboy, along with Colonel Assistant Sonia Massey. That must have been taken before this afternoon's game. Here's a swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt by Joselito Hernandez. Well, our guest, I believe, has arrived. We're expecting Gary Sevick from ComSpeed, and I believe Jack Rader has gotten Gary Sevick to join us in this 2-1 game. The 0-2 to Joselito Hernandez is swung on and missed on a pitch in the dirt, but it gets away from Brett Martinez. It'll be a strikeout for Ortega, and a wild pitch allows Joselito Hernandez to make it to first base. Well, Luvita Hill, we brought a chair down here for you. It's disappeared momentarily. But, Luvita, I wanted you to conduct most of the interview with our guest, Gary Sevick, because of your great knowledge of computers, Luvita, compared to my knowledge of computers. So we're going to take our crowd mic we're going to defrock it, so to speak, and take it off its moorings. And Gary Sevick is going to be between pitches. Levita Hill will be talking with Gary Sevick as Gary's going to thrust his headsets on. He's from a new company, ComSpeed. And Gary, before Levita joins us, you have a lot of great things that you can offer our community.
Yes, it's going to be a portable, high-speed internet. It's wireless. You can take it with you around the surrounding area. It's less expensive than some of the other high-speed internet services.
Will Levita define high-speed internet or have Gary do it for us?
I think I'll have Gary do it for us. He might be able to do it a little bit better.
Well, if you guys remember the old, your dial-up service, which was real slow, it took forever to download stuff. High-speed is, instant downloads, pictures, videos. You can send pictures to your friends, videos, data, whatever you need to do.
Here's an 0-2 pitch in the dirt, and it allows the tying run to advance to second. Jabalito Hernandez goes into second on the second wild pitch of the inning, and now the Dragons, with only one out, with Chris Denovi in the hole, have a chance to tie this game. Gary Sevick is with us from ComSpeed, COMMSPEED. And Gary, it's nice when your company name can reflect kind of what you just described to our listeners.
Yes, and the website also is commspeed.net, COMMspeed.net. So anybody that wants to check it out can get online and take a look.
And Com is with 2 M's.
That's correct.
The 1-2 pitch to Denovi. Ooh, over but low for a ball. Gary, the reason I have broadcast assistant Levita Hill with the crowd mic is in late March, Levita took me a quantum leap as a guy in my late 40s. We went to Best Buy and bought my first ever computer. We got a laptop computer for $579. The 2-2 pitch to Chris Denovi. Strike 3 called. Throw to second. Runner gets back. 2 out here in the Dayton 4th inning. That strikeout for Ortega, his 4th of the day. And Levita Hill, all the things that Gary Sevick just described, if I subscribe to ComSpeed, could they apply to that computer you helped me buy?
Yes, they could.
How much easier would it make my life? Because I'm pretty impressed with the computer now, but what would Gary's service do?
You know those ballparks you go to that don't have wireless internet?
Yes.
You'd have wireless internet.
Because of your service, Gary?
That's correct. It's portable. Like I said, it's in the local area here. It's Quad Cities, Cedar Rapids, Waterloo. All of it's coming online soon.
It's coming on. How soon, Gary?
Right now we're in what's called a soft launch, which means we're selling to customers where we have towers active.
Okay.
But, it's forthcoming, the public launch.
Okay. That sounds a little bit like a cell phone. The cell phone companies have to get physical towers up.
That's correct. We mount on the same towers that cell phone companies do. Similar equipment. It's it broadcasts out a signal, and the modem that we give you picks it up.
That is amazing. ComSpeed, Internet at the speed of light. Gary Sevick, a sponsor of the Freedom Festival, and he's with Levita Hill and I. A 2-0 pitch, ball 3 low to Mike DeJesus, the number 9 hitter. The Colonel lead is in jeopardy here in the 4th inning. 2-1 Kernels, but the Dragons have the tying run at second with 2 away. And Mike DeJesus batting with Jabalito Hernandez at second. The 3-0 pitch from Colonel right-hander Anthony Ortega is a strike called at the knees. Levita, Gary's done a great job explaining the concept behind ComSpeed. What else should our listeners know?
Well, I just have a few questions for Gary. Some individuals prefer to buy an air card or an external wireless card to go into their laptops. How would your modem compare to that air card or external wireless card?
Well, basically for that wireless card, you would have to have an internet service. Like, say the cable company or the phone company or even ComSpeed. And that works through a wireless router which plugs into the modem.
Do you understand that, Levita?
Yes, I do. I sure do. But I know that my mom's laptop, she has one of the T-Mobile air cards, and she can use it wherever there's a T-Mobile tower and things like that. And I was just wondering how your modem compared to that, something like that.
It's just as portable, but it's a little bit bigger than that card that plugs in. It's about the size of a paperback book, the modem.
Okay.
3-2, the count to Mike DeJesus. Will continue to welcome Gary Sevick from ComSpeed. His company, newly founded, is a big Freedom Festival sponsor. The payoff pitch now to Mike DeJesus from Ortega. Swing and a miss! Oh! Anthony Ortega gets Mike DeJesus swinging to keep the Kernels ahead here in the 4th inning. In fact, Ortega struck out the last 3 batters in the Dayton 4th inning. It just so happened that on the first strikeout, Lito Hernandez reached on a wild pitch, and Anthony Ortega prevents the Dragons from tying the game here in the 4th inning. 1 run, a one-out homer by Bobby Mosby onto 8th Avenue. 1 run for the Dragons on 1 hit. There were no Kernel errors, and Dayton leaves no but 1 man aboard. They've stranded 5. We have the latitude to keep it right here, so we're going to, as Myron Noodleman does his great routine in front of the Dragon third base dugout. Luvita Hill, I knew we should have you alongside to talk with Gary Sevick from ComSpeed. What else, Luvita, were you curious about? Because you are a college senior at Iowa. You know computers inside and out. What else fascinates you about the ComSpeed concept?
I don't need to subscribe through the cable company. That would be just so much easier.
Gary, is that revolutionary?
Yeah, we don't require you to sign up for a year or anything like that. You just get our service. You can try it out. If you decide you want something different, you're not locked in. Wow. And right now we have a special introductory offer. For the first 3 months, it's $19.95 a month.
Repeat that, please, Gary.
For the first 3 months, our service is $19.95 a month.
And how can someone subscribe to that introductory offer?
We have an 800 number, which is 888-772-1137, or you can look up our local numbers in Cedar Rapids or Iowa City or the Quad Cities.
That's a great deal. Luvita, I'm going to give our listeners a taste of what Myron Noodleman is doing. He is going through a routine with Damian Urson, a relief pitcher for the Dragons, and listen to the crowd's reaction after they complete this. Gary Sevick, that was quite a routine by Myron Noodleman, the song from the old movie Deliverance with the dueling banjos.
Yes, it was.
Gary, other things that consumers in our area should know about ComSpeed right now, when it sounds like you're just about ready to launch
our internet.
Yes. What should people do? They can take advantage of that introductory offer now.
Yes, they can. If they call now, or they can check out the website and get online.
That's ComSpeed.com, COMMSPEED.net. .net. Heinley Stacia, who has had remarkable success against the Dragons this year, 16 for 29, takes a strike. It's 1-1. Heinley now rolls the next pitch foul from Carlos Fisher. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Our guest is Gary Sevick from ComSpeed. The Kernels lead the Dragons 2-1. And it's the top of the hour. Let's remind you that you're tuned to Kernel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG Cedar Rapids. The outfield plays the Kernel switch-hitting all-star shortstop straight away. The 1-2, a looper into shallow left. I'll be darned, it falls for another hit for Heinley Stacia. Heinley Stacia has 6 hits in a row in this series. Heinley Stacia dumps a base hit down the left field line, and the Dragons will likely call the Cincinnati Reds, their major league team, and say, let's trade for Heinley Stacia. And the Reds will say, well, why is that? And the Dragons will say, because Heinley Stacia is 17 for 30 against our ball club. Wow, Heinley Stacia, 17 for 30 against Dayton in this, our 8th and final meeting. Heinley's at first with nobody out, and the batter's Jordan Renz. A throw to first. Heinley gets back safely. Luvita Hill, is ComSpeed a service that college kids, friends of yours at the University of Iowa, should look into?
I think it is for those of us who don't watch television too much, and we don't want to have to deal with the cable part, because with the cable, you have to have the cable to get the internet. Or if you don't have a land phone line to have internet, this would be something that's wonderful for us.
And as a matter of fact, real quick, we just brought the tower online in Iowa City, so it can serve the University of Iowa.
Well, that's great.
That is great.
Luvita, I think you're going to be interested in the introductory offer.
I am, but I have another question.
We'll get to it after this 0-1 pitch to Jordan Renz. Strike 2 call, the slider.
I live with roommates, and we all share our wireless internet that we do get. If I were to do this, how would this work with roommates?
Well, you could hook up a wireless router to it, and all of your roommates can get online through that modem.
That is perfect.
Is that legal?
Yes, it's legal.
All right. Or they could all subscribe either way.
Exactly.
But college kids have budgets, right, Luvita?
That's right.
The 0-2 to Jordan Renz. Up and in. How about our office, Gary? A full-time year-round staff of 12. We all have computers. I bought the laptop on my own. Would we be a candidate for your service?
As a matter of fact, you could. You could subscribe for the 1 megabit service, and that should be able to supply all the computers in the office with enough speed to get on the Internet and be useful.
Wow. And then how about a Rockwell Collins who employs 7,000 people?
Well, that would take another solution.
Okay, and that's fine. It's good for us to know that. So this is for an individual or a small to medium-sized business?
Exactly.
And it's ComSpeed. A throw to first, and Stacia gets back that word speed and communication combined, Gary. That seems what the modern day is all about, is communicating quickly.
Well, and another thing, it's real easy to hook up to your computer. It basically has a plug that plugs into the wall for power and a plug that plugs into your computer, and that gets you online.
Renz is hit on a 1-2 pitch. The pitch just grazed Jordan, and now the Kernels are making some noise to try to add to their narrow 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Jordan Renz is struck by a pitch. That's only the third batter in 16 starts that Carlos Fisher, the Dayton right-hander, has hit. Ordinarily, when you hit a guy on a 2-strike pitch, it results in a big inning. Mark Trumbo hit the ball sharply, leading off the Colonel's second, but grounded out to third. I doubt if Trumbo will be called upon to bunt, but you never know. The big guy hitting .209, 9 homers, 33 RBIs. Mark Trumbo with runners at first and second and nobody out here in the Colonel fourth inning. Let's see if Trumbo's bunting. He is not, and the pitch high and inside almost leaked out of the mid of catcher Chris Denovi. Gary Sevick, what is your background in this field? Are you a computer so-called expert, or are you a businessman?
I'm more on the engineering side of it, building the towers, getting the signal to work, and stuff like that.
That's the most important stuff, because once you sign somebody up, you want them to be happy.
And another thing, too, this service works with Macintosh also.
Lupita, that's important.
That is very important to know.
Because Macintosh is what creative people like Andy Pantini use to design brochures and things.
That's right, and a lot of people like to use the Mac, the art people and the media people.
That's exactly right. 1-0 to Trumbo, Stacia at second, Renz at first. Bottom of the fourth, 2-1 Kernels. The right-hander checks Stacia at second and delivers a changeup on the inside corner. Trumbo took it for a strike. Mark stands straight away from the right side. Mark Trumbo batting with 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2-1 Kernels. The outfield plays Trumbo straight away. The infielders, De Jesus at second, Rosales at short, are squeezing towards second base. They're clamping down the middle of the diamond. Swing and a miss by Mark, strike 2. Gary Sevick, you have some great folks, I think, that are here with you. How about letting us know who else is here from ComSpeed?
Well, I have my wife. She's not actually from ComSpeed, but she's visiting Cedar Rapids right now.
Great.
Adrian standing behind us.
Great.
And then we have Amy and Todd Ritchie from our Brian Ritchie Communications.
They're the owners.
No, they're not the owners. They're just they do the advertising for us. And Todd Ritchie works for Light Edge, which does our what's called our backhaul. That's our main connection to the internet for our service.
Boy, there's a lot of things that go into a
great companies, great people.
That's what makes a great company, is the people. The 1-2 delivery to Trumbo is sent soaring in the air down the right field line. Giving chase is B.J. Szymanski, the right fielder, but it skips up into the aluminum back bleachers, the Papa John's Plaza, and it's 1-2 to Mark Trumbo. Luvita, you've had some great questions. Any other things come to mind as a consumer that Gary could answer?
How can I sign up? When can I sign up?
You can sign up right now. If you call the 800 number or go to the website, they can get you set up and get you online.
Well, that's great, because Luvita knows every angle on my new computer. She helped me pick it out in late March at Best Buy. I didn't know the first thing about looking at a good laptop. Ball 2 down and away to Mark Trumbo. Gary, is this something that is new to our area, or do you have any competition?
Right now, I believe it's fairly new to the area. That there are some competitors out there, but as far as I know, we're offering the best service.
I'm sure you are. And the name is so easy to remember, ComSpeed. The 2-2 to Trumbo. Ground ball up the middle. It should be a double play. The second baseman feeds the shortstop out. Throw to first, double play. And on to third goes Heinley Stacia. Mark Trumbo broke his bat, rolled it underneath the pitcher's glove out to the second baseman. Mike DeJesus picked it up near the bag, underhanded to Adam Rosales, the shortstop, for the force of Renz, and then on to first. It went 4-6-3. And let's see if Brett Martinez can pick up Mark Trumbo, who hit into that double play. Give Mark credit. He put the ball in play, and that helps. Whenever you put the ball in play, you have a chance to make the defense make a mistake. Let's see if Martinez can drive home Jordan or Heinley Stacia. A ball high, a slider. Well, Gary Sevick, as far as the business plan goes, you mentioned that Amy Ritchie's wife, or husband Gary's here. Is the Freedom Festival your initial marketing? Are you making a big splash by being a Freedom Festival sponsor?
Yes, we are, and we want to be a permanent, member of this.
You wanted to attach yourself to the most high-profile and respected tradition in our community.
Well, yeah, and we love baseball at Calm Speed. So.
Oh, great! That's even better. Well, it's 1-2 now to Brett Martinez, who singled but was caught trying to steal second his first time up. Ball 2 is high from the hard-throwing Dayton right-hander Carlos Fisher. We'll take a break as scheduled after this fourth inning and then wrap things up with our guest, Gary Sevick from Calm Speed. And, Gary, if you want to bring in Gary's or Amy Ritchie's husband,
Todd.
Yes, you sure can. Swing and a miss by Brett Martinez. Brett fans, and that ends what looked to be a promising Colonel fourth inning. The Colonels had runners at first and second, nobody out, but a double play and strikeout. No runs in the fourth for the Colonels. One hit, a hit batsman. There were no Dayton errors, and the Colonels leave their first man aboard. After 4 innings, it's the Colonels leading the Dragons 2-1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the Summer Reading Program. Toyota Financial Services, The Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm have teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward to be claimed at the Ben Ritter Diamond Shop at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For every child that reaches 1,000 minutes, they will be invited to the Colonel's Reader Recognition Day, Sunday, August 27th. They will receive the autographs of Colonel's players on the field. Encourage your child to start reading today, helping them reach their goals for the summer.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper.
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
We're in the top of the fifth inning, and we have some more great news from Gary Sevick of Calm Speed, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill. In addition to the Internet at the speed of light, Calm Speed also has another feature that we just learned about.
That's right. I believe it's called digital phone service.
Gary, there you go.
Yes, we're offering digital phone service through our service. You'll get free long distance with the caller ID, the full package, for a lesser price than the competition.
Wow. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt by the leadoff batter, Mike Griffin. Luvita, are you familiar with digital phone service?
I am not familiar with digital phone service. I know about my cell phone. That's about all.
Gary, what are the advantages of digital phone service? Is it that you can combine them with your internet computer service, or is it the sound quality?
Well, exactly. It's all combined with the internet service. It's bundled together into one package.
Here's a high drive way back into right center. Brad Kuhn coming together with Madison Edwards. Madison Edwards starting to his right. in front of Brad Kuhnhall's in the deep drive by Mike Griffin. 1 out here in the 5th inning. Dayton batting, and the Kernels leading 2-1. Gary, you just used the term bundling.
Yes, we bundle together into one package where you have your internet and phone, and eventually we'll be offering video over this also.
Man.
And that will be bundled with a satellite dish, though, the video.
Wow.
So, and it's all, one price. You're not paying for 3 different things, 3 separate bills.
Yeah, that makes it a lot more convenient. And budget-conscious people can look and say, hey, I'm saving by consolidating. A change up in the dirt. The name of the company is ComSpeed. And, Gary, some more great news you shared with Levita and I is you want to reach our audience, which is comprised, our 2 best demographics are families with children and businesses. And you will be a player in Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're part of your marketing plan.
Yes, we're going to be sponsoring the Kernels on a permanent basis.
Great. Boy, thank you very much, Gary, for entrusting us to bring your message to our audience.
You're welcome.
2-0 the count to Adam Rosales, and now Martinez trots out to the hill. Luvita Hill, you know more about computers than anybody I've ever met, and you kind of stay atop of all the changes. Would you explain to Gary Sevick how important a computer is to your life?
There are 3 electronic devices that are important to me. My cell phone, my car, and my computer. Without those, I don't think I'd make it.
A line drive, a sinking liner, pick clean at second by Larry Infante to rob Adam Rosales of a 1-out hit. Adam Rosales hit a vicious tailing sinking line drive to the left of the Colonel's second baseman, and Infante went down on both knees, leaned out to his left, and stabbed it for the 2nd out here in the Dayton 5th inning. 2-1 Kernels. Yes, Luvita, those are your 3 most important electronic aids, and the computer especially. Here's a little looper into shallow left, and Stantrell Smith has to play it on 1 hop. It's a 2-out single for Jay Bruce, who reaches for the 3rd straight time. Boy, Bruce is showing why the Reds took him in the 1st round of last year's draft out of Beaumont, Texas. He now has 2 straight hits and has reached 3 straight times. Luvita, you describe your computer to Gary and why you went for the high end.
Well, I just purchased a new computer. My other one died on me, and I cried.
Uh-oh.
I bought a Sony Vaio. It's a dual processor, and it has a built-in camera and microphone. And it also has a video drive, or not a video drive, that's video hookup.
Oh, okay.
So I bought it because it has all that great stuff, and I can edit my videos and slideshows and film footage and everything.
Well, you'll need high-speed internet to go with it.
The runner goes. That's right, Gary. Here's a towering pop-up to shallow left, coming on Stantrell Smith. Stantrell has it to end the inning. 5 magnificent innings from 20-year-old Venezuelan Anthony Ortega. No runs for the Dragons. 1 hit in the 5th. There were no Colonel errors, and Dayton leaves 1 man aboard. They've stranded 6. Gary Sevick, this has been delightful. Are there any final thoughts we should leave our listeners with today before we let you enjoy the rest of the afternoon under the sunshine?
Well, I was going to mention to Levita real quick. It's probably gotten to the point too with her being in college where she can't live without the high-speed internet. And a nice thing about this service is if she's in Iowa City and she needs to come to Cedar Rapids, she can pick up her modem and take it with her up here and get online while she's at the baseball stadium or wherever.
That's great because I'm always trying to find a place like Panera Bread that has Wi-Fi, that has free Wi-Fi. But with this, I don't have to worry about trying to find someone who has it.
Exactly. You go to a friend's house or even sitting in the car and you need to get online real quick. You're there.
I've done that before.
Well, Gary, also thanks to Terry Sullivan, who just introduced himself from the great ComSpeed team. This has been a huge eye-opener for me, Gary, and thank you for letting Luvita kind of carry my... Usually I host a guest, but I just didn't feel like I could ask the right questions.
Well, I appreciate you letting me talk to you today.
Gary, thank you, and thank you for supporting the Kernels.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good day.
We will, Gary. You too. That's Gary Sevick, the technical brain behind the ComSpeed name and ComSpeed Internet at the speed of light, our guest here this afternoon. We'll be back in just a moment. The Kernels coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, leading the Dragons 2-1. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
We have Avery and Kendall Sturts from Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers. They are delightfully cute kids. They're here today to watch the Kernels as Madison Edwards leads off the bottom of the 5th inning by chopping a 2-1 pitch foul. It's 2-2 to Madison. I'll tell you what, when a kid comes into this booth with a genuine Kernel red jersey, authentic, and a Kernel cap, he's going to make friends quickly. How are you doing, Avery Sturts?
Good.
Good. How old are you now, bud?
5.
5. Well, you carry yourself like a pro. Ball 3 is high and away. Now, your younger sister's name is Kendall. Okay. Where are you going to go to school this fall?
Westfield.
Westfield. That's where we visit for our reading program. I think Mr. Rogers is the principal there. Swing and a miss by Madison Edwards on a high fastball. 1 out here in the 5th inning. We're delighted to have Avery and Kendall Sturts with us. They are the grandkids of Carol and Rich Kendall. And Carol and Rich have been long time generous supporters of wholesome, affordable family entertainment here at the ballpark with Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers. Speaking of which, Avery, what did you and Kendall get to do in the 2nd inning? You remember? You know who this guy is at bat? His name's Dallas Morris. He lifts one in the air to shallow center. Jay Bruce coming on. He dives and makes a sensational catch to rob Dallas Morris of a base hit. Dallas Morris homered his last time up. He's robbed of a Texas League single on a diving catch in shallow center by Jay Bruce. Avery Sturts, Dallas Morris was the guy at third base that you got to go out on the field, I think, and say hello to, didn't you? Now, did he sign an autograph?
Yeah.
Good. What did he sign today? A ball? A souvenir?
A ball.
He did. All right. Dallas is a pretty nice fella, isn't he?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm glad you were here as our Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger small fries of the game, along with your cute little sister, Kendall. Avery, you and Kendall were just tiny little babies when your grandparents brought you to this ballpark in a yellow slug bug. Do they still have that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, it's a beautiful car. Stantrell Smith with a looping liner over the head of the shortstop, Adam Rosales. Stantrell Smith has a 2-out single here in the bottom of the 5th inning. With the Kernels leading 2-1. Honey, that's all right. I'll tell you what, for a 5-year-old, you have poise and a lot of bravery to come on the radio and be so well-mannered. What I was saying is I remember that car that your grandparents drove, and let me describe it a little bit better. It's a Volkswagen. It's an open-air, what's called a convertible. Do they still have that car?
No.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What have you been doing so far this summer?
Going to the pool.
Oh, boy, that sounds like fun, Avery. Going to the pool. I'm going to ask you in a second which pool is Brad Kuhn. Takes a fastball outside. I go to the Cherry Hill pool on the southwest side of Cedar Rapids, Avery. Which one do you go to?
Noel Ridge.
Noel Ridge. That's the big one with the slide and everything. You usually go in the morning or afternoon?
In the morning.
It's fun, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you swim or take lessons?
Swim.
Good. Time is called as Brad Kuhn steps out. The Kernels have out-hit the Dragons 7-4 this afternoon, lead them 2-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. how many 5-year-olds do you listeners know who could put on a headset and calmly talk as poised and rationally as Avery Sturts has? Avery, how old is your Colonel jersey? When did you get that, bud? Last year or this year?
This year.
Cool. It fits you, doesn't it?
Mhm.
I love it. It's red, and then, are you old enough to know what's written in cursive across the front of it?
Kernels?
Yes, it says Kernels. And then your grandmother, Carol, showed me this cool pin that you have on the top of your Colonel cap of, I think it's Tim Salmon, who's called Mr. Angel now. He's been with our parent club for almost 15 years. Where did you get that pin?
I don't know.
You might have got that at the souvenir store, too, or maybe somewhere else. What's your favorite sport? Swimming?
No.
What is it?
Football.
Football, all right. I love football, too. Brad Kuhn waiting for the 1-0 pitch from the right-hander. It's high, ball 2. Now, do you like NFL football or college football, Avery?
College football.
College. You smile like you're a Hawkeye fan, are you? All right. Well, Bob Brooks was just with us earlier this week on Brooks at Bat. He has seen the new Kinnick Stadium, and he said everybody will be amazed at how beautiful it is. There's a pitch outside, 3-0 to Brad Kuhn. Sitting next to Avery Sturts, being so well-behaved, is little Princess Kendall Sturts. And, Avery, do you think Kendall's old enough to talk on the radio, or is she shy?
Yeah, I think
she could do it?
Mhm.
Okay, we'll see in just a second. She's wearing her pink Colonel shirt this afternoon. Strike one called to Brad Kuhn. Avery, have you started T-ball yet, or are you mainly a swimmer?
I started T-ball.
Cool. Are you in the Hiawatha Kids League or the YMCA, or what is it?
YMCA.
That's fun. The 3-1 to Brad Kuhn with Santrell leading away from first. A line drive into left center on the run. Jay Bruce going back to make the play. Brad Kuhn flies to center. That ends the Colonel 5th inning. No runs for the Colonels. A 2-out single by Smith. There were no Dayton errors, and the Colonels leave one man aboard and have stranded a pair. After 5 innings, it's 2-1 Colonels, and we'll be back with a little bit more from the Sturtses and the Kendalls. They're our guests from Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers on this great Sunday afternoon. After 5, the Colonels lead the Dragons 2-1. You tune to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are two hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council World-Class Apprenticeship Program. These experienced tradesmen will work with sign contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
We're back here with the Kendalls and Sturtses, longtime friends of the Colonels, and I think, Kendall, we said you'd have a chance to say hello, sweetheart. We'll put these headsets on you. Kendall Sturts is a little girl who's been so well behaved. She's wearing some cool pink Nike. I don't know Levita, what would you call what Kendall is wearing, or what Avery's wearing? They're not really sandals, or are they? Okay, she's wearing Nike pink sandals. Kendall Sturts, how old are you? One more time, honey, I'm sorry.
3.
You're 3 years old. All your teeth have come in, haven't they? Your teeth have come in for you. And, honey, you like baseball, don't you?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'll tell you what. Your daddy, Tyler, and your mom, Katie, have been very, very good friends to me over the years. They're very good parents to you, aren't they?
Yeah.
What'd you have for lunch today? Did you eat here at the ballpark?
No.
Is your tummy getting hungry?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they can get you some Wells Blue Bunny ice cream or...
But I had a hot dog.
Oh, you did have a hot dog. Good. Here at the ballpark, honey, or before? Here today at this stadium?
Yeah.
Good. Here's a ground ball foul outside first by Eric Iman leading off the 6th inning. 3-year-old Princess Kendall Sturts is alongside, and you're the only little girl I know with that neat first name, Kendall. Do you know any other little girls named Kendall?
No.
It's pretty unique, isn't it? No teacher's going to forget your name. Here's a curve outside, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, do we have to give it to Anthony Ortega, the 20-year-old Colonel Venezuelan, making his first start as a Colonel. He's pitched a wonderful game here today, and he strikes out Eric Iman on a pitch in the dirt. Anthony Ortega strikes out Eric Iman, 1 away here in the 6th inning. Now, Kendall, do you like fireworks, or as a 3-year-old girl, do fireworks scare you?
Fireworks scare me.
Yeah, some kids are like that. We had fireworks here last night. See where that big American flag is in right center field?
Yeah.
That's where the fireworks were, right over the American flag. They were loud. Strike called to Bobby Mosby, who slugged a home run onto 8th Avenue his last time up. Bobby is 6'1", 290, and he is built, man. From East St. Louis, Illinois, he takes low and away, and it's 1-1 to Bobby Mosby. He wears green batting gloves. He kind of looks like the Green Lantern out there, or the Incredible Hulk with those green batting gloves that are bright and shiny. Bobby calls time. Kendall, do you go to the pool with Avery, or are you too young to get in the pool?
I go in the pool with Avery.
Do you use water wings?
No.
You can float yourself, can't you?
No.
Or do you go in the shallow end?
I'm jumping the deep end right now.
Great! Kendall, that's great that you can do that. Ball 2 sinks low to Bobby Mosby. The Kernels have big right-hander Tim DeJurgis warming up down the right field line. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in the 7th inning this afternoon because of the wonderful guests we have. We're glad they came up to see us today. Rich and Carol Kendall, Tyler and Katie Sturts, and their son Avery, their daughter Kendall. Ball 4 outside. Bobby Mosby walks, and he's the tying run at first with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. And Anthony Ortega, who pitched 7 innings in Casper, Wyoming this past Monday, may be on a rather short leash. He's pitched so well here today. That's just his, well, actually, that is his 4th walk of the afternoon. He's also struck out 6. He struck out 6 in 5 1/3 innings. Kernels on top 2-1 as the middle infielders Stacia and Infante come in to have a word with Venezuelan 20-year-old Anthony Ortega. Well, Kendall, how about you, sweetheart? What do you like doing in the summer? Are you old enough to ride a training wheels bicycle yet, or are you still on a tricycle?
I'm still on a tricycle.
Do you like the tricycle?
Yeah.
When we were your age, we had a 4th of July parade around our neighborhood where all the kids would get what's called crepe paper. It's the kind of paper that's real thin. We'd get red, white, and blue paper and put it through the spokes of our bikes and then have a parade around the neighborhood organized by the parents. A chopper to third, over the head of Dallas Morris, into the hole, and a very cheap infield single for Jabalito Hernandez. Oh, Hernandez bounced it to the left of Dallas Morris. And Dallas, when it went over his head, looked to his left. There was Heinley Stacia to backhand it to prevent it from going into left field. It's an infield single for Jabalito Hernandez, and he reaches for the 3rd straight time. And now the Dragons are Well, here we go. We're going to have a pitching change, and I can't wait to hear the crowd give what I hope will be a standing ovation to 20-year-old Venezuelan Anthony Ortega. Tim DeJurgis will likely take over in this. Yes, honey, go ahead. What'd you ask? Okay. Now listen to the hand for Anthony Ortega. And the Colonel dugout is spewing out to greet the 20-year-old Venezuelan. What a Midwest League debut for Venezuelan Anthony Ortega. He's greeted with a bunch of high fives from the Colonel dugout. Carol Kendall, what did you want to say? Your Kendall Sturtz's grandmother about that pitching performance.
I thought it was excellent. I tell you, I would have liked to have seen him gone the whole game, but we really appreciated what we got out of him.
Oh, you bet we did, Carol Kendall. What an outing for Ortega. Tim DeJurgis takes over on the hill. And I'll tell you what, I think I understand now, Carol, why you enjoy spending time with your grandkids.
Aren't they great?
They are cuter than can be. They're so polite and well-behaved.
Well, that's just because they're around you, John.
Oh, no. I'll tell you what, it's kind of neat, though, that they all have, you dressed them up for the Colonel game as Colonel fans, and we're so delighted that you could make it out here this afternoon, Carol, because when you and Rich have to, I don't say have to, but when you have the responsibility of running not one, not two, but now 3 Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, a lot of people say, oh, I'd love to be my own boss, and I know you and Rich love it, but with that responsibility comes a lot of long hours.
Well, I tell you, we couldn't do it at all unless we had the good help that we do at the stores, and I tell you, you think we're the boss. They're the ones that tell us what to do and what they need, so we're just around to help, and without them, we're nothing.
Well, Carol, thank you for acknowledging your great staff. I'll tell you what, we came to you and Rich late this spring and asked if it would be a good fit for you to be a part of our 8th annual Toyota Financial Services Gazette Summer Reading Program, and because you said yes, it's now called the Toyota Financial Services Cedar Rapids Gazette Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger Bloomsbury Farm Reading Program, because you and Bloomsbury Farm both stepped to the plate in really generous ways to reward youngsters throughout our community for reading. And in the case of the 250-minute readers, they receive a bright yellow and blue token from Culver's, and that you should have seen the reaction from the kids this spring when they knew that was their reward.
I tell you, we've had several of those redeemed already, so there's a real reading audience out there, and we're thrilled to death to be able to do it and give back to the community.
Well, it means a lot to the community, Carol. Tim DeJurgis on in relief of Anthony Ortega, who goes 5 1/3 and leaves with runners at first and second, having allowed 1 run on 5 hits.
One question, John.
Sure, Carol. Here's a swing and a miss by the batter, 0-2.
You must really not like the Astros. You keep forgetting my son Jake's in the room.
Oh, Jake, I'll tell you what.
Just because he wore that Astros jersey, I mean,
well,
I should hold that against him.
That did catch my eye. And Jake, I just met last year, and he moved here from Kansas City, and got to know him way better this spring, Carol, when you opened your new location on the north edge of Marion next to... Is it Squaw Creek, or what is it next to?
We're next to Eagle Ridge Community.
Yes, Eagle Ridge. And, yes, thank you for reminding me about not only Jake, but that stylish late 80s Astros orange rainbow jersey he's wearing.
Some fans never die.
Oh, man, that is cool. I'll tell you, I have baseball cards of some Astros from that era with that they're wearing that very jersey. DeNovi on an 0-2 pitch, fouls it straight back. Tim DeJurgis has answered the U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen here in the top of the 6th inning, with the Colonels leading 2-1. This call to the Colonel bullpen is sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Yes, Jake Kendall is here, and he is a neat young guy. Has a lot of responsibility running that new Culver's location. DeNovi shoots one in the air to right, sending Madison Edwards back. Madison in front of the track, gathers it in. Bobby Mosby rumbles into third base, and it's 1st and 3rd with 2 out as Chris DeNovi spanked it hard in the air to right for the out. Jake moved here, Carol, from Kansas City, and so far he seems to really like the concept of, A, a family-run business, and B, what you offer the public, which is all good treats, good, delightful food at Culver's.
Yeah, and he's done nothing but lose weight since he's been back here, so I don't know what the problem is.
Well, he's probably working hard. Yeah.
Well, he's got 60 employees out there that help him out, and they're really coming a long ways out at Marion's store, and
yes.
everybody's coming to the plate, you might say.
That's kind of the newest area of the greater Cedar Rapids area. When they built that Walmart out there along with the cost cutters, and then you guys jumped aboard, that is a very vibrant new area of our community.
Oh, it's just really growing by leaps and bounds, and with the new elementary school that's going to go in about a quarter of a mile from us.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Which district, Linn-Mar? Or?
That's Linn-Mar.
Okay. Boy, that's exciting news.
Oh, I think they just started grading, so I think 2007 they're supposed to be in there, and it's just going to be awesome.
Cool.
3 new housing developments going up out there, and plus what they're adding on to. It's really growing.
Fantastic. That's north of Marion, right out by the new Microtel Hotel, the Walmart, and Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger. Uh-oh, Tim DeJurgis has fallen behind the number 9 hitter, 3-0. Tim DeJurgis with a big task now. He'll try to come back and get Mike DeJesus, first and third, 2 out for the Dragons. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The sun is shining brightly. DeJesus, nothing for 2 today. Walks on 4 pitches. I'll be darned. Tim DeJurgis walks Mike DeJesus to load the bases, and it'll be Mike Griffin batting for the Dragons. They have a chance not only to tie the game now, but to take the lead as Brett Martinez heads to the hill. Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers. I had the thrill last year, Carol, thanks to some quick thinking on your husband's Rich part. Rich called me and said John Craig is in town, the actual man who founded Culver's.
Yeah, Craig, he seems to make it around. There's 320-some Culver's now, and he seems to make it around to quite a few of the stores. And if we would call and ask him to come down, he'd be here in no time. They've got a plane now, so he gets around to quite a few of the stores, and we really appreciate him coming out and shaking hands with the customers and our employees. He just treats them like golden.
Wow.
So we were real glad that you got a chance to meet him.
Yes.
And he appreciated meeting you too, John.
It was fun.
He says you were pretty unique. I don't know what he meant by that.
Well,
but
some are a little bit. He was kind in saying that. But it was great to meet Craig Culver, because Culver's has become a fixture all across the upper Midwest with those 300-plus locations. 3 right here in our area. 1 only a fly ball away. You're open till 10 o'clock so folks can enjoy a Kernel game and then enjoy one of those Culver's Frozen Custard flavor of the day, or boy, and those Butterburgers will just melt in your mouth.
They seem to do in yours, John. I have noticed that a little bit.
I love them. I slap the mustard on those with some pickles, and they are just delicious.
The only question I have is you were trying to get Kendall to buy some of that Blue Benny ice cream a little bit ago, and I was just going to kind of tell you maybe we could wait till after the game and have some custard or something.
That's fine with me.
And for those viewers who don't know, custard is a premium ice cream.
That's
all it is.
Yes.
And, it's a little smoother and richer, and once you've had it, you just never go back.
No, you never go back. Strike 2 called to Mike Griffin. Now a shot to short. Stacia has it. Throws to second. Out! Wow! A game-saving play for now by Hiley Stacia. A 1-hop bullet hit at Hiley's feet. He had to back up, throw from deep in the hole to the second baseman, and he did it. Hiley did it. It forces Mike DeJesus 6-4, and what an inning for Tim DeJurgis as Hiley Stacia gloved that 1-hop rope and threw to second for the force out. Billy Gardner Jr. is arguing the call with the base umpire, Anthony West, but it's going to stand. We've had defensive gem after defensive gem here this afternoon. In the 6th inning, top of the 6th, no runs for the Dragons. 1 hit.
Well, the kids are doing a little YMCA, so I'm going to turn this over to Rich and join them.
Well, Carol, thank you so much. We'll take a break and welcome Rich in the bottom of the 6th inning. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, it's the Kernels still on top of Dayton, 2-1. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood. Start here. Go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. When it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talent. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in radiation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Larry Infante is first up for the Kernels. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for all you great Kernel fans in the 7th inning. Right now, we need to go to work and try to add to a narrow lead of 2-1, and Rich Kendall is with us. Rich, I am so happy you brought the entire family here this afternoon. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, we brought the whole clan up to bother you, John, and we appreciate you inviting us up.
Rich, it's fun. It really is. It's fun to have guests, especially when you have 3 generations here. Little kids, and then you and Carol, who started Culver's, and then Tyler, who's still helping you. Tyler works full-time, though, at Nordstrom, and Jake is here with his Astros jersey, so we got the whole crew. Larry Infante has walked. That's a good start to the Kernels' 6th inning. The Dragons have a tall right-hander up in their bullpen. I believe that's 6'8" Logan Ondrusek, who was the winner here on Thursday night. 2-1 Kernels, bottom of the 6th inning. And the batter's Heinley Stacia. Well, Rich Kendall, don't you have ties to Independence or to Manchester?
To Maquoketa, John.
Maquoketa, there I go. I don't know my outlying communities as well as I should, but I want you to share a story with us about a fella who went to high school in Maquoketa, played quarterback at Iowa State, and now I believe is in the NFL.
Yeah, Sage Rosenfels.
Your family knows Sage.
Yeah, my son was in his wedding. He graduated with him, played football with him, and still has a relationship with him today.
Is Sage... is he with the Dolphins?
No, he's with the Houston Texans.
Okay. Did you know when he was a little boy growing up that he might be a Division I quarterback, and that he could you ever imagine he'd be an NFL quarterback when he was little?
Not really, but people develop in later years, and he had some good coaching at Iowa State and developed into an NFL quarterback.
The Cyclones should be pretty proud to have both Seneca Wallace and Sage Rosenfels in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm a Cyclone fan when they don't play Iowa.
Sure. So that's what a lot of us are, and I know that Sage Rosenfels probably, you can answer this probably better than I, but I would imagine he tries to make it back to Maquoketa every now and then.
Yeah, he's back right now, matter of fact. He was bound to the Tim Dwight camp last week in Iowa City, and...
Here's a line drive by who? None other than Heinley Stacia, a base hit into left. And I'll tell you what, the Dragons can't wait to get out of town, or at least hope that Heinley Stacia never faces them again. Heinley Stacia now, Rich Kendall, has 7 straight hits. I don't know what the Major League record is for consecutive hits. I think it's 9 or 10, but Heinley has 7 in a row, 4 last night, 3 tonight. Stacia is now 18 for 31 against Dayton pitching. the Kernels have the same situation we had in the fourth inning. Runners at first and second, nobody out, and Jordan Renz will be the batter. It was Mark Trumbo at the plate with runners at first and second and nobody out in the fourth inning, and this starter, Carlos Fisher, got Mark to wrap into a double play. The Dayton pitching coach is out to the hill to talk it over with the starter, Carlos Fisher. Ondrusek, the 6'8" right-hander, looks ready to go if needed for the Dragons. And now the plate umpire, Brad Purdom, comes out to break up the meeting on the mound. Well, that's neat that Tim Dwight has kept his football camp Iowa-centered, Rich.
Yeah, he got a lot of good participation with some NFL players, I think, that really enjoy kids, and they just do it because they enjoy it.
Well, that's the best reason to. Unfortunately, that isn't the case all the time now with commercial ventures like camps. Jordan Renz at the plate has 6 RBIs in the last 2 games. He's trying to measure Carlos Fisher with runners at first and second, nobody out. 6th inning, Kernels 2-1, leading the Dragons. A blistering fastball at 90 miles an hour on the outside corner. Strike 1 to the Kernel cleanup hitter, Jordan Renz, who drove in 4, the Kernel 7 runs in the 7-2 win last night. Infante at second, Stacia at first. The 0-1 to Jordan. Curve, and it's popped foul. This one knuckling into the club seats above the backstop. Well, Rich Kendall, I know when you first started with Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, you and Carol weren't sure that it would grow into the success it has. It's really been a good fit in this community, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've tried to be part of the community and do a good job with that. 6.5 years, and now we have 3 locations, so it's not only our good employees, but also the support of the community that makes it.
It sure does. You need both. Swinging and a miss by Jordan Renz. A big strikeout for right-hander Carlos Fisher. Well, listen to this. Jeff Johnson, the beat writer of the Gazette, has just brought us in another astounding accomplishment for Heinle Stacia. He's 19 for his last 38. That's over the last 10 games. Heinle Stacia 19 for his last 38. And we thank Jeff Johnson, the Cedar Rapids Gazette writer who covers the Kernels, for giving us that amazing statistic on Heinle Stacia. Can Mark Trumbo pick up Jordan Renz and drive home a run? You feel like if the Kernels could get at least one of these 2 men home, it would make a big difference in the game. A high deep drive into right center. Jay Bruce drifting back, way back, and it's the right fielder, though, Szymanski, who calls off Jay Bruce, and Trumbo flies out to deep right. Advancing to third is Larry Infante. Well, unfortunately, the Kernel big guns, Renz and Trumbo, have not been able to produce today with runners on, and now it's up to Brett Martinez to try to make something of this scoring chance. The Kernels had runners at first and second with nobody out. Moments ago, Renz struck out. Trumbo advances Infante from second to third with a fly ball out to deep right. It's first and third, 2 out for Brett Martinez. Yeah, Rich, when I woke up this morning, it was cloudy and overcast, and I thought, oh boy, I wonder if the Kendalls and Sturtzes can make it. Did you guys wait until the sun started shining a little before 2, or were you planning on coming no matter what?
We were going to come no matter what and see what happens. We knew it would clear up and be a nice day.
Oh, it is a beautiful day here. Ball 1 high to Brett Martinez. Rich Kendall's with us from Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers. Just saying that makes you want to hop in the car and head on over to Culver's, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot of good things. Burgers, chicken, fish.
Oh, yes.
A lot of good salads, so it's not just burgers.
That's right. I've had you let me sample your walleye sandwich, Rich, and, man, I don't know where. Are those caught? Where are those walleye come from?
They're northern walleye.
Okay, man, is that a good sandwich at Culver's?
It's a limited time offering that we offer during the Lenten season.
Yes.
So we do not have it, but we've got cod on our menu, which is equally as good.
Oh,
yes.
Better. Yes, it is. Swing and a miss by Martinez on a breaking pitch. Brett trying to provide the Kernels a big bolt of lightning with 2 out. Runners at the corners, bottom of the 6th inning, 2-1 Kernels.
You seem to have a good influence on my grandchildren, John. They seem to be behaving extremely good.
They always, I tell you what, whenever I see them, they are as good kids as you could ever imagine, Rich. And that's a tribute to you guys. And kids will be kids, sure. Heck, my nieces and nephews are wiggle worms and love to run around and sometimes cause a little commotion, but that's fine because they're having fun. But no, their attention spans are amazing.
I caught a little slip of the tongue the other night listening to you on the radio, John. You seemed to call Dallas Morris Dallas McPherson.
An awful lot. And what does that tell you? It's a tribute to Morris, first of all, that I would put him in that category. But Dallas McPherson's had a little bit of trouble with injuries at the big league level. He hasn't really done what the Angels were hoping for early in his career. We can only hope that Dallas McPherson gets healthy. The runner from first goes. Doesn't matter. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball ripped out of the arms of Carlos Fisher out of his hand, and he strikes out Martinez. The Kernels will look back in the 4th and 6th innings as lost opportunities this afternoon. They had runners at 1st and 2nd in the 4th and the 6th and did not score. No runs in the 6th inning. 1 hit, a walk. There were no Dayton errors. The Kernels leave 2 and a stranded 4. Well, Rich Kendall, I'll tell you what, the next time I call Morris McPherson, maybe it'll just remind everybody how great McPherson was as a Colonel. He also was a third baseman, but Dallas Morris, where were you guys sitting this afternoon when Morris hit that home run onto the Whirling Waters Mix 96.5 FM Westdale Mall home run hot tub?
Just to the right of home plate in section 110, so we had a good view of it.
Wow, that was something.
And Avery was excited because that was a gentleman who signed his ball.
Yes.
He brought him good luck, I guess.
He sure did. Well, Rich Kendall, you and the whole crew, Jake, would you like to join us for a half inning? It's up to you, my friend. We go to the top of the 7th. It's the Kernels leading the Dragons 2-1. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
We go to the 7th inning. It's 2-1 Kernels. It may not be for long. There's a long drive. Stantrell Smith looks up. It's on to 8th Avenue to tie the game. A game-tying home run here in the 7th by Adam Rosales. His first home run. This is his 13th game with the Dragons. Tim DeJurgis has allowed the tying run in this game, a leadoff home run in the 7th by Adam Rosales to tie the game 2-2. You could see that coming when our ball club had runners at 1st and 2nd. Nobody out in the 4th inning, didn't score. Put our first 2 men on in the bottom of the 6th inning, didn't score. The Dragons were just waiting to get back and tie this game, and they have. 2-2, and now the batter, Jay Bruce. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. Ball 1 from DeJurgis. Well, the fella that Carol and Rich Kendall told us was a high school friend and teammate of Sage Rosenfeld's is with us. Jake Kendall, Sage Rosenfeld's, and you were in his wedding.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be in his wedding, and then likewise he was in mine.
Well, that's fabulous. And your dad told me Sage was back in Maquoketa, and he was working at the Tim Dwight football camp.
Yeah, I think he's pretty excited, not only to work with the community back in here in Iowa, but spend some time back at home in between mini camps and one of the few breaks that professional players have, whether it's baseball or football.
Yeah, they don't get much time off. Jay Bruce on a 3-1 delivery, fouls it off to the left. It's a full count to the left-handed batter. We're on the top of the 7th inning, and we're tied at 2 on a delightful Sunday afternoon. Jake Kendall is with us, wearing his vintage Houston Astro uniform. A hard hit ball backhanded by Infante. On to first. Larry makes a dazzling backhanded stop of a hard hit two-hop smash by Jay Bruce. Boy, Bruce hits everything hard. One out here in the top of the 7th inning. Our game is tied 2-2. Jake Kendall, Kansas City is one of my favorite cities. My aunt lives there. My mom grew up there. How many years did you live in Kansas City?
I spent just under 4 years there, and it didn't take long. Really liked the community and the fact that baseball is so important to that town. I wish they would revive it, get some players there, because the support's, it's there. They have to compete with St. Louis, and they do a fine job. But the time I was there, Carlos Beltran was the best player I've ever seen play in my time.
Well, he has 5 tools.
Yep. He certainly does, and I think I saw all 5 of them there in the 4 years I was in Kansas City. Beautiful player.
Yes, he is. 1-1 the count to switch-hitting B.J. Szymanski, the Ivy Leaguer out of Princeton, fakes a bunt and takes low for ball 2. Jake Kendall is with us, and you're right about Kansas City, Jake. They just made a change at the top. Allard Baird is gone. Coming over from the Braves is Dayton Moore, and I think the new regime, if ground ball foul pass first, if given time, can bring the Royals back to their glory years of the mid-70s under Whitey Herzog, and they played well in the 80s as well.
I'm not sure how you feel about revenue sharing, but when you live in Kansas City,
you are a fan of it.
You certainly start to respect it real quick. But the community's behind them, and the town's going to stay there for a while, and the baseball history of it is just wonderful.
Well, Jake, I would agree wholeheartedly. Revenue sharing needs to be, they have a luxury tax, but that hasn't worked as well as it should to help the smaller market teams compete for signing amateur players. Swing and a miss by Szymanski after the home run by Adam Rosales. Tim DeJurgis has come back to get Jay Bruce on a hard grounder to second and strike out B.J. Szymanski. 2 gone here in the 7th inning.
John, tell me a little bit about that pitcher this afternoon we saw. I walked into a blind, but it's my understanding it's his first start.
Yes.
He looked wonderful in the few innings he played.
Oh, he pitched with a lot of poise and confidence for a 20-year-old. The Angels really do have, and I'm not talking the company line, the Angels have a great deal of talent in their minor leagues, especially with pitching. And Ortega, I don't know much about him. I said hello to him in the clubhouse yesterday. I just went up to him and said, "Hey, are you Ortega?" And he said, "Yes, sir." And I shook his hand, and I said, "Welcome to Cedar Rapids, Anthony." And I'll get to know him a little bit better later on. Here's a swing and a miss on a 1-0 pitch by Eric Iman, who's 0 for 3. We're in the top of the 7th inning. But it's really neat to see the kids at this level, because when they do go on and make a name for themselves in the big leagues, you feel like you've had a small part of their success. A ground ball to deep short. Backhanded by Stacia. Heinle throws out Eric Iman. Eric Iman grounds out to deep short, and Heinle Stacia continues to sparkle. He an all-star for the Kernels. Jake, we're going to keep you here. I don't look at you as a direct competitor with the Springhouse Family Restaurant. You're both great supporters of the Kernels. I'm going to have you, to free up Luvita Hill, our broadcast assistant, I'm going to have you give the Springhouse trivia question in the next half inning, if that's all right.
I'd be delighted.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. A home run leading off the top of the 7th by Rosales ties the game after 6.5 with the new pitcher coming on for the Dragons. It's the Kernels 2, Dayton 2. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, 2-2 the score. A new pitcher on for the Dragons. On in relief is 6', 8-inch right-hander Logan Ondrusek. Ondrusek was the winner here Thursday night. He pitched 3 scoreless innings, gave the Kernels only 1 hit, struck out 1, walked 1. Logan Ondrusek from McClellan Community College down in Texas. His first pitch goes over the head of the catcher to the backstop, strike 1. Logan Ondrusek taking over for the starter, Carlos Fisher, in this 2-2 ball game. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill will be answering the phone in this bottom of the 7th inning. It's our Springhouse trivia question. If you've been one of our ball 2 over the head of the catcher, and the crowd gets a big kick out of that. Both pitches, Jake Kendall, have hit the umpire's door behind home plate and made a loud thud.
For whatever reason, that always excites the crowd, whether it's a foul ball or a wild pitch, if you would.
It sure does. I told you yesterday that I took my little brother and the Big Brother Big Sisters program to the Springhouse Family Restaurant on Center Point Road, and I want to remind you that the Springhouse has broasted chicken. You can order on the phone and pick it up, or have it right at the Springhouse. Ball 3 to Madison Edwards. Edwards, Morris, Smith, the lower third of the Colonel order here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2 the score. 6', 8-inch right-hander Logan Ondrusek delivers. Ball 4, and the Colonels put their leadoff man aboard via a base on balls here in the bottom of the 7th inning. If you've been one of our previous 38 winners of a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse, please don't call in this afternoon. You can certainly play wherever you're tuned in, but don't call in if you've already won the Springhouse trivia question. Think about that broasted chicken at the Springhouse. Jake Kendall, how about giving our listeners a chance to earn that $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse?
That sounds good, and I actually have a hint, I think, for the listeners, but the question is, 1998 Cubs had a 50-plus home run player and a 50-plus save closer. Name them.
We'll repeat the question in a moment, but first let's let you know that Madison Edwards has moved up into scoring position as he steals second base. Strike 1 to Dallas Morris. The steal by Edwards, his 6th of the year. A head-first slide ahead of the one-hop throw by the catcher Chris Denovi. And Dallas Morris will now try to get Edwards over to third. We'll have Jake Kendall repeat the Springhouse trivia question, then he'll give the number for you to call, and he'll do it after this 0-1 pitch to Dallas Morris, the Colonel right-handed hitter. Dallas will try to hit the ball on the ground to the right side of the infield. No, instead he squares to bunt, takes a slider outside, ball 1.
Okay, again, the question. 1998, Cubs had a 50-plus home run player and a 50-plus save closer. Now, my hint on this one is the closer played for the Des Moines Cubs the year either previous or after. I believe lived in a trailer just outside the ballpark there, and I think that's the difficult one to get on this question.
All right, and Jake, the number to call.
The number to call is 896-7589. 896-7589.
And I've lived here 11 years, and at every turn when I ask somebody who their favorite team is, to my disappointment, they don't bellow out the Cardinals. They usually say, I'm a Cub fan. So there you go, Cub fans. Light up the phones with your answer to the ground ball up the middle to the shortstop. On to third goes Edwards, and Dallas Morris is thrown out. What a job by Dallas Morris to get the tying run to third with only 1 out. Dallas Morris grounded up the middle. It was gloved by Adam Rosales, who threw out Dallas. Madison Edwards goes to third. He's there with only 1 out. And the Colonels could take the lead here in the 7th inning against reliever Logan Ondrusek. with Stantrell Smith batting. We've had a call, but an incorrect answer to the Springhouse trivia question. We'll repeat it in just a moment. For all you Cub fans out there, the infield in, and a little looper punched off the end of the bat, and it may be caught. It goes into the Colonel bullpen and beyond the reach of Hipólito Hernandez. Well, Lubita Hill, what was the guess so we can eliminate? No, Joe Borowski never saved 50 games, did he, Jake?
I think maybe that's in the future here, 50 games.
Yes.
No, we're looking back a little further than that.
Yeah, Joe Borowski never saved 50 games for the Cubs, but that caller is on the right track. He got the 50-plus home run hitter right. A pitch out, and it was almost a wild pitch, holding at third. Ball one to Stantrell Smith is Madison Edwards. All right, Jake, we have an unexpected but welcome. No, Jake, right here. Myron Noodleman's here, but you need to give that Springhouse trivia question again. And, Myron, you need to say hello to the two kids, Avery and Kendall Sturts. They're right behind you, Myron. Myron Noodleman is here. And we'll wait for the trivia question as Stantrell Smith on a 1-1 pitch takes it for a strike on the inside corner. Jake Kendall, how about that Springhouse trivia question again?
We're looking for 1998. Cubs had a 50-plus home run player and a 50-plus save closer. It's a save closer that we're having a hard time with.
Yes, someone guessed Joe Borowski. But you need to name the guy that hit over 50. Here's the 1-2 to Stantrell, and he loops it foul into the first base seats. We need to take your calls now at 896-7589, 896-7589, 896-7589. As Jake said, the Cubs had a 50-plus home run hitter and a 50-plus save closer in 1998. Name them both. Name them both. 896-7589, 896-7589. Strike three, Stantrell Smith unable to put the ball in play, and it'll be up now to Brad Kuhn if the Kernels are to capitalize on the leadoff walk, the stolen base, and Edwards being at third base. We've never stumped anyone in 11 years with our Springhouse trivia question. I don't think we'll stump people this afternoon. Brad Kuhn will try to give the Kernels the lead here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Fastball from Ondrusek is a strike called. No, not Nate. Andre Dawson and Nate Smith did not. Now, wait a minute. Who said that? Okay, no. No answers yet. And so that means our Cub fans must be watching the Cubs on television rather than tuned into Colonel Baseball this afternoon. Ball one is low to Brad Kuhn. I'll tell you what, I thought, Jake, that with your hint, this would be one of our easier questions. The phone continues to ring as we look for the correct answers in our Springhouse trivia question.
I tell you, the hint is around a very creative individual.
Yes.
Somebody that you don't forget. So think about that. Des Moines Cubs, somebody that's performed for them for a year at least, lived in a trailer near the ball field.
And I think we're still looking for the right answers. 1 and 2 to Brad Kuhn with Edwards at third. Ball two is low. All right, one more time. Now, wait a minute. Yes. Now, who called, though? That's correct. Did you get their name? Oh, okay, what did they say? Those are the two answers, yes. Hold on, we'll get it straight. We think we have an answer. Here's a tap over the mound, and the shortstop throws. Not in time! We're going to have a huge argument. Jake Kendall, they've called Kuhn safe at first on a bang-bang play. I thought he was out. Rich Kendall, what did you think? Rich thought he was safe. Jake, what did you think?
I tell you what, Brad Kuhn goes down the line as hard as anybody. I think he was safe.
All right, Brad Kuhn has driven in the go-ahead run in this game, beating out an infield single. Brad Kuhn beating out an infield single has driven in Madison Edwards and Billy Gardner Jr. Jake, if you could describe. Well, now it's broken up. Billy Gardner Jr. behind the mound was all over the base umpire, Anthony West. Brad Kuhn is driven home. The go-ahead run in this game. Brad Kuhn is driven in the go-ahead run in this game. The Kernels lead it here in the bottom of the seventh inning. 3-2. 3-2 Kernels here in the bottom of the seventh inning. It was a bang-bang play, Jake, and I thought the call could have gone either way. But you and your dad thought he beat it, and so did the umpire.
Well, you watch Brad Kuhn. He goes as hard down the first base line as anybody. He had that rough start in the first inning getting picked off, but I tell you what, he redeemed himself there.
Luvita Hill, do we have a correct caller in our Springhouse trivia question? Again, here are the names we're looking for. If they name those two people, they have won a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. The first pitch to Infante instead of throw to first. I think, Jake, we may have a winner to congratulate in our Springhouse trivia question. We asked you to name the Cub who hit over 50 home runs in 1998 and the Cub who had over 50 saves in 1998. And I think we have a correct answers and a correct caller to congratulate as a winner of a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Okay, whoever just called, 896-7589, we apologize. Luvita thought you had given the wrong answer. Apparently you have given the right answer. So call back, please. 896-7589. 896-7589. Luvita, was it a man or a woman? A kid. Was it a kid? Could the woman who called with the right answer to the Springhouse trivia question please call back 896-7589, 896-7589, 896-7589. Ball 2, high to Larry Infante. We had apparently a winner in our Springhouse trivia question, and that might be the lady calling back. Brad Kuhn is giving the Kernels a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Larry Infante on a 2-0 pitch. A wild pitch! Kuhn goes to second. He stops at second. Larry Infante is ahead 3-0. Brad Kuhn's in scoring position here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-2 Kernels. Jake, as busy as you are with your family in helping run the Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, you seem to get out here quite often.
Certainly try to. It's a beautiful place to see a game. It's minor league baseball, but bottom line, it's baseball, and that's as good as it gets, no matter where you're at, whether you're seeing the game in Chicago, Wrigley Field, or here at Vets.
Well, Jake, thank you, and that's our main marketing message. If someone's looking for affordable, wholesome family entertainment, we'd like them to think of us among their top choices. Luvita, thank you so much. Larry Infante on a 3-0 pitch fouls it off his foot. Well, Jake, let's have you repeat the Springhouse trivia question and give the answer, and then I'll congratulate our winner.
All righty. 1998, the Chicago Cubs had a 50-plus home run player and a 50-plus save closer, and we asked you to name them.
And Jake will give the answers in a moment, the answers that Kristen Smith gave. The 3-1 to Larry is tomahawked foul off the Colonel dugout railing. Larry breaks his bat and marches back to the Colonel dugout to get a new one. Jake, Kristen Smith had the two answers to our Springhouse trivia question.
Well, Kristen said in 1998 the Cubs had Sammy Sosa with 66 home runs, and then I think the difficult one was Rob Beck with 51 saves.
Yes, and thanks to everyone who called. I didn't mean to sound short-tempered or frustrated. I just know that, Jake, I ask everybody I meet, who's your favorite big league team? And it's a melting pot. Ground ball foul by Larry Infante. He's still full on the count, facing 6'8" right-hander Logan Ondrusek. Hey, I grew up bleeding Cardinal red, and I do to this day, Jake. And when I meet Cub fans, I'm very respectful of them. Eastern Iowa is a Cub hub.
We get a chance to pick who we get to like in Eastern Iowa,
That's
whether
right.
it's the Cubs or the Cardinals.
Or the Royals or the Twins. Larry Infante cranks a pitch foul into the right field corner, or the White Sox or Brewers.
That's right, and it makes it fun and interesting, that's for sure.
Well, Jake, thank you for giving out that trivia question on behalf of the Springhouse. A $5 gift certificate will go to Kristen Smith of Cedar Rapids. Kristen, thanks for calling in, and Luvita Hill will be sending you your $5 gift certificate. Luvita will also have a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard later on this afternoon. A high drive into left. The left fielder turned the wrong way, but now It's Mike Griffin turning the right way and spinning into the fly ball. Larry Infante had a good at-bat, skies to left, and the Colonels' 7th inning. One big run scored by the Colonels on a walk, a stolen base, and a 2-out infield single by Brad Kuhn. There was one Colonel hit. There were no errors committed by the Dragons. The Colonels leave a runner aboard and have stranded 5. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and I would like Jake Kendall and Tyler and Katie Sturtz, Kendall and Avery Sturtz, and Rich and Carol Kendall. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of this afternoon. Jake, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, young in your career and life, and you come back as often as you like. We'd love to see you here at the ballpark.
John, I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Jake Kendall, thank you so much. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and it's the Colonels now leading the Dragons 3-2. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Second to none, South Slow Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none, South Slow Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellowbook Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellowbook's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellowbook combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellowbook, not the other book.
On behalf of the Colonels, I want to invite Rich, Tyler, and Jake to either stay for a half inning or head down. But, guys, thank you very, very much. This has been a blast for everyone, including myself, to have you guys come out with your families and visit not only the ballpark but the booth. And I really hope that you have time to make it out a few more times later this summer. And it just means a lot to us. Thank you very much. Tyler Sturtz, Jake Kendall, and Rich Kendall, all part of the great group from Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger. Tim DeJurgis has fallen behind Bobby Mosby 2-0. This is not Tim DeJurgis. This is Chris Howell. Swing and a miss, a 92. This is Ryan Aldridge. Excuse me. Ryan Aldridge is pitching here in the 8th inning, trying to make Tim DeJurgis a winner. Ryan Aldridge, a right-hander, answering the U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen, and he misses high and in. Ball 3 to Bobby Mosby. We're in the top of the 8th inning, and the Colonels own a 3-2 lead over the Dragons. We've out-hit Dayton 9-6. Tim DeJurgis pitched well in his relief stint. Bobby Mosby on a 3-1 pitch hammers it foul, out of play down the right side to count full mouth. Tim DeJurgis went 1 2/3 innings. We're in the top of the 8th, and the Colonels lead it 3-2. The payoff pitch to Mosby, swinging a foul straight back. Rich, thank you very much. Guys, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Tyler, we'll talk to you next time. All right? Take care, guys. It's a full count to Bobby Mosby. Bobby homered, leading off the 4th against the departed Colonel starter Anthony Ortega, and he walks. Ryan Aldridge issues a leadoff walk to Bobby Mosby to start the Dayton 8th inning in this 3-2 game in favor of the Colonels. Ryan Aldridge answering the U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Tim DeJurgis went 1 2/3. Tim surrendered 1 run on 1 hit. DeJurgis struck out 1, and Tim walked 1. Josh Holden out of West Point is going to run for Bobby Mosby. Josh Holden will bat in the number 6 slot in the Dayton order, and he will run for Bobby Mosby. Josh Holden. Ryan Aldridge comes set. First pitch swinging is Joselito Hernandez, and he cracks it foul straight back. This call to the Colonel Bullpen sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Ryan Aldridge takes over on the hill for the Kernels. And his fastball, 93 miles an hour, is high. Ball 1 to Hernandez. Joselito Hernandez. Kernels trying to climb over the 500 mark, lead it 3-2 here in the top of the 8th inning. Joselito Hernandez has reached 3 times in 3 at-bats today, and he swats the 1-1 pitch foul straight back. Ryan Aldridge is ahead of the right-handed hitter Hernandez, 1-2. Ryan Aldridge's record is 1-2. He's on for the team-high 32nd time out of the Colonel bullpen, a 3.25 ERA, and a team-high 15 saves for Ryan Aldridge. Hernandez hits one to short. Stacia has it, bobbles it, and it's an error. Everybody's safe. One of the few errors committed by Stacia this season opens up the door for a big inning now for the Dragons. It was a double play ball. Heinle rushed himself, and Joselito Hernandez reaches on the air by Heinle Stacia. And that gives the Dragons a great chance to tie it or take the lead here in the 8th inning. Heinle took his eye off the ball for just a moment. He was starting to think about feeding the second baseman, Larry Infante, to try to start a double play, but it didn't work out that way. Heinle fumbled it, then on his attempt to regain the handle, fumbled it a second time. So it's first and second for the Dragons here and there at top of the 8th inning, and Chris DeNovi will likely try to bunt the runners over to second and third. Throw to second by Ryan Aldridge, and the runner gets back. Ryan Aldridge has pitched 36 innings this year, allowed 26 hits in 36 innings, struck out 52 in 36 innings, walked 14. A walk and an error. That's a bad combination to try to protect a 1-run lead with those two things occurring, but the Kernels are certainly capable of atoning for those transgressions. Chris DeNovi is the batter. He tries to bunt, misses, and coming crashing in from third and first were Mark Trumbo from first and Dallas Morris from third. We may have some finals to give you a little bit later in this 8th inning on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Swing and a miss by DeNovi, and I tell you what, Dallas Morris and Mark Trumbo have a big lump in their throat. They were 15 feet from home plate when DeNovi cut it loose but missed. 2-on, nobody out for the Dragons here in the top of the 8th inning. A curve just missed high, a slider rather, just missed high from Ryan Aldridge. Dayton has a right-hander up in their bullpen who got the save here Thursday night, Justin Mallett. The 1-2 to DeNovi. He bunts foul, strike 3. Big first out recorded by Ryan Aldridge. Chris DeNovi strikes out on a 2-strike bunt attempt. He bunted it foul outside of first base. 1 out, and the batter Mike DeJesus. Tying run. Pinch hitter Chris Holden at second, or pinch runner Chris Holden at second. Or Josh Holden rather. Josh Holden. He's at second. The go-ahead run at first. Joselito Hernandez. And a strike in from Ryan Aldridge. The Kernels get Tim Madison up in the bullpen. That means that Ryan Aldridge may only work this 8th inning. The 0-1. Ground ball to first off the chest of Trumbo, and it's the bases loaded. No play. The ball ricochets into foul ground. That's an error on Mark Trumbo. It was hit hard in Mark's defense and climbed right into his chest before he could get his glove up. And the bases are loaded now with only one out. Mike DeJesus reaches on the second Kernel error in this eighth inning. That ball was hit hard by DeJesus, and it ate up Mark Trumbo. Deflected off his chest, went to his left, holding at third, or advancing to third, Josh Holden, up to second, Jabalito Hernandez. Mike DeJesus reaches on the second Kernel error of the eighth inning. And now the Kernel lead is in big, big jeopardy. 3-2 Kernels, top of the eighth, bases loaded, one out, and the batter for the Dragons is Mike Griffin. Griffin facing Ryan Aldridge. Swing and a miss on a 91-mile-an-hour Hummer from Ryan Aldridge. A walk and two errors have loaded the bases for the Dragons here in the top of the eighth inning. Kernels lead it 3-2. Swinging and fouling the next pitch off to the right. Strike two is Mike Griffin. Well, Ryan Aldridge has not allowed a ball to get out of the infield yet, but the Dragons are knocking on the door with a chance to tie it or take the lead. The Kernels would love a strikeout, pop-up, or double play in this situation. Swing and a foul on an 0-2 pitch. That one up onto the Papa John's Plaza. Kernels about hit Dayton 9-6. Lead the Dragons here in the top of the eighth inning 3-2. Griffin swings and misses, strike three. Big strikeout for Ryan Aldridge for the second out here in the Dayton eighth inning. Ryan took something off that 0-2 pitch and got Mike Griffin swinging for the second out of the inning. Oh, what a big strikeout for Ryan Aldridge. Now with the bases loaded and two out, Adam Rosales at the plate. Rosales homered leading off the seventh against Tim DeJurgas to tie this game 2-2. The Kernels lead it 3-2 here in the eighth. Ball one sails high and outside to Adam Rosales. This game is packed with tension and drama. 3-2 Kernels, top of the eighth, bases loaded, two out, and the next pitch is high to Adam Rosales. The crowd behind home plate unhappy with the call by plate umpire Brad Perdome. Good-sized crowd on hand here this afternoon. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Woo! Ryan Aldridge just reared back and blew that by the shortstop, who steps out. A walk, two errors committed in this inning by the Kernels, who lead it 3-2. Bases loaded. The 2-1 pitch to Rosales upstairs, ball three. Now Ryan Aldridge has to really bear down and try to throw a strike to prevent from walking in the tying run. Rosales looks at strike two called. Listen to the crowd. Now the biggest pitch of the afternoon is about to unfold. Brett Martinez steps out in front of the plate to direct his outfielders and his infielders on defensive positioning. Bases loaded, two out, 3-2 Kernels, top of the eighth inning. The runners will be going. There they go. Ball four over the head of the batter. Ball four, and we're tied 3-3. Ryan Aldridge walks home the tying run, and the bases are still loaded with two out. Adam Rosales had to duck out of the way of a pitch that almost struck him in the noggin. So a walk, two errors, and another walk result in the Dragons tying this game here in the eighth inning. Well, Luvita Hill, we have a Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation unfolding on the mound between Colonel pitching coach Kernan Ronan and Ryan Aldridge. It's sponsored by Mercy Medical Center.
That's right. You owe it to yourself and the people who love you to find out what your risk of heart disease with a $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center. It's quick, easy, and convenient, and it could save your life. Call Mercy today at 398-6821.
And now I shudder to look who's at the plate. Jay Bruce, left-handed hitter. Oh, a wild pitch puts Dayton ahead. A wild pitch in the dirt. Brett Martinez can't find it, or did it hit? It hit Jay Bruce, It hit Jay Bruce, and the Dragons lead it now in a nasty 8th inning. Oh, we played poorly in this inning, pitched poorly, fielded poorly, and Dayton leads it 4-3. A hit batter, Jay Bruce, is struck by Ryan Aldridge. Boy, these late inning difficulties are starting to be frustrating. Bobby Magallanes comes out, and Bobby will make a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Poor Ryan Aldridge did not let the Dragons get the ball out of the infield, but he has allowed the Dragons to take the lead here in the 8th inning. We'll turn to Luvita Hill now, Colonel Broadcast Assistant, for a complete look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard.
I'd like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn for this look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard. Games completed earlier today at Turner Field. The Braves turned back the Orioles 10-3. At Dawson Stadium, the Red Sox skimmed the Marlins 4-3. At RFK Stadium, the Nationals toppled the Devil Rays 6-2. At Great American Ballpark, the Indians derailed the Reds 6-3. The Tigers cut past the Pirates at PNC Park 9-8. At Busch Stadium, the Cardinals tamed the Royals 7-9.
Luvita, hold on 1 second about just to eliminate any confusion. That higher score first in the Cardinal-Royal game.
I'm sorry about that one.
That's all right.
At Busch Stadium, the Cardinals derailed the Royals 9-7. And at Wrigley Field, the Cubs beat the White Sox 15-11.
Wow, a high-scoring game at Wrigley Field, and games that are still going on, Luvita.
Oh, there are 2 more final games.
Okay, great.
At the Metrodome, the Twins shut out the Brewers 8-0. And at Rogers Center, the Blue Jays down the Phillies 6-1. There are 4 games still taking place at Petco Park. The Padres lead the Giants 2-1 in the top of the 5th. At Angel Stadium, our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, are ahead of the Dodgers 4-0 on the top of the 7th. At the Coliseum, the score is tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. That's Diamondbacks and A's. And at Safeco Field, the Rockies are ahead of the Mariners 1-0 on the top of the 6th. And that's a complete look at our State Farm Major League Scoreboard. And once again, thank you to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn.
Well, thank you, Luvita Hill. I'm going to give you one more assignment as a postscript to the State Farm Major League Scoreboard. Can you double-check and see if there's a game tonight on ESPN?
I sure can.
Thanks, Luvita. Brad Beck has answered a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel Bullpen. This call to the Colonel Bullpen sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Ryan Aldridge goes 2/3 of an inning. So far, he's given up 2 runs, both unearned, on no hits. Ryan struck out 2, walked 2, and Brad Beck will try to keep the Colonels trailing by just a run here in the 8th inning. B.J. Szymanski on a slow curveball swings and misses, strike 1. Szymanski's the 8th man to bat here in the 2-run 8th inning for the Dragons. They have not gotten the ball out of the infield, but they've scored 2 runs. They have the bases loaded. It's DeJesus at third, Rosales at second, and Bruce at first, and a cut fastball from Brad Beck is low for a ball. Brad Beck, no record this year, on for the 11th time with a 4.26 ERA.
There are 2 interleague play games tonight, and they are both at 8:05 Eastern Standard Time at Ameriquest Field. It's Rangers-Astros, and at Yankee Stadium, Yankees and Mets.
Thank you so much, Luvita. We'll keep those on our scorecard for the Colonel Curtin call. B.J. Szymanski takes low and in, ball 2. We just can't seem to get that final out yet here in the 8th inning. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. B.J. Szymanski thought it was outside. He steps out and shakes his head at the home plate umpire. Szymanski thought that pitch was outside. It's 2-2, and he's been thrown out. B.J. Szymanski has been thrown out of this game. He points the bat at the umpire now, and B.J. Szymanski arguing with the plate umpire, Brad Perdome, and now Billy Gardner Jr. intercedes and gets between Szymanski and the umpire. Luvita Hill, it's very rare that a player at this level is ever thrown out of a ball game because, A, of their respect for the umpires, B, because they just don't want to lose an at-bat or a chance to show the organization what they can do. I could tell Szymanski was very upset at the call by the plate umpire, Brad Perdome, and B.J. Szymanski has been ejected from this game The Dragons will have to send up a pinch hitter. Billy Gardner Jr. is standing up for his right fielder, Szymanski, and arguing with the plate umpire. B.J. Szymanski's been thrown out of this game, and let's see who's going to come in and bat for Szymanski. It is going to be, well, I can't tell yet, Cabrera. It looks like, yes, it's going to be Gerardo Cabrera who will bat with a 2-2 count. Gerardo Cabrera will pinch hit for B.J. Szymanski here in this 8th inning. Szymanski was ejected from the game. Gerardo Cabrera will have a tough chore. He's coming up to bat with a 2-2 count. Cabrera is a .230 hitter on the year. And Cabrera batting .230 with 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. Cabrera played in last night's game, and Gerardo unexpectedly having to pinch hit for B.J. Szymanski, who was upset on a strike 2 call. He thought it was outside from lefty Brad Beck, and apparently uttered the magic words to Brad Prudhomme, the plate umpire. Gerardo Cabrera was 0-for-3 last night in the Colonel win. He reached on an error and scored an unearned run in the 6th inning, the only run surrendered by Tommy Mendoza. So Brad Beck continues to toss warm-up pitches into the plate as Cabrera takes his time entering this game. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill, the 4th of July, Tuesday, is an important day here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
That's right. The Miller Mezzanine Terrace will be open to the public on July 4th, and that game is against Burlington. The game time is 5, and fans are welcome to stay and watch the Freedom Festival fireworks after the game. The cost is $25 per person, and that does include food and beverage. Children 5 and under are free.
And it's also McDonald's Bat Night here, Bat Day at the ballpark. Luvita will give you the details on that in a moment, but I'm glad she led with the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. That's exactly what I wanted all of you great Colonel listeners to be reminded of. The 2-2 pitch to Cabrera with the bases loaded. Low, a slider, ball 3. Now the count full, and for the second time, the Dragons will send their runners with the bases loaded, 2 out. Here in the top of the 8th inning, the Dragons have scored 2 without a hit. The runners go. Beck's 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! Wow, Brad Beck gets Cabrera to end the inning and keep the Colonels in the game. 2 runs for Dayton in the 8th inning on no hits, 2 walks, 2 Colonel errors. And the Dragons leave the bases loaded. They've stranded a dozen. Can the Colonels rally in the late going to make it 3 straight over the Dragons? Stay tuned to find out. After 7.5, it's now Dayton leading the Colonels 4-3. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Summer is the best time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center is the finest quality flowers and plants for indoors and outdoors, plus all the expert advice you need to make your flowers and plants grow their best. Whether a single flower or an arrangement, a single houseplant, or a yard of landscaping, Peck's does it all. Family-owned and serving eastern Iowa since 1956, Peck's offers their customers the best plants and flowers available. Peck's is your professional and award-winning FTD and Teleflora florist, certified in year-round garden center, nursery and landscape center, and plant and flower headquarters. Stop in often for Peck's Fresh Flowers and feature fresh-cut stem roses, just $11.99 per dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, nursery and landscaping, at the corner of Blair Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast.
We thank Levita Hill for that message from Peck's. B.J. Szymanski, who was tossed out of this game with the bases loaded, and 2 out on a 2-2 pitch. And Cabrera came up, Gerardo Cabrera, to bat for Szymanski and struck out. And now Heinle Stacia, who was worn out, absolutely mauled Dayton pitching, will face a new right-hander on in relief for the Dragons, a tall right-hander who earned a save here Thursday night in the Dragon 4-3 win, and Heinle takes the strike call. The right-hander is Justin Mallett, M-A-L-L-E-T-T. We'll have Levita tell you about Justin Mallett in just a moment. The 0-1 to Heinle Stacia, who has 7 straight hits in this series. Strike 2 called from Mallett. Justin's a tall right-hander.
Justin Mallett, appearing in his 10th game, has a 2.77 ERA, and he's 0-3. That's his record. Mallett has saved 2 games. He's pitched 13 innings. There have been 9 players hit against him, 4 runs scored against him. He's walked 7. And the league is batting 196 against Justin Mallett.
Swing and a miss by Heinle Stacia, 1 away here in the Kernel, bottom of the 8th inning. Levita mentioned that Mallett has 2 saves. Justin earned his 2nd save of the year Thursday night, pitched 1 inning, gave the Kernels no runs, 1 hit, struck out, none, walked 1. Justin Mallett, a 24-year-old 6'6" right-hander from Belleville, Illinois, a suburb of St. Louis. Swing and a foul, straight back by Jordan Wren, strike 1. The final line on Logan Ondrusek, he went 1 inning, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, struck out 1, walked 1. He's the pitcher of record for the Dragons. Logan Ondrusek is. Jordan Renz waits for the 0-1 and tags it foul. Look out, that one almost struck one of the Dayton players on the top row, or on the bench. He's chuckling about it. And Jordan Renz is in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. 4-3 Dayton. We've out-hit them 9-6, but 2 walks and 2 errors gave the Dragons 2 gift runs in the top of this 8th inning. And it's the difference in the game right now. The 0-2 to Jordan Renz. A high fly ball into straightaway center. Jay Bruce comes moseying in, parks himself under it, and has it. Jordan Renz skies the center, 2 away here in the Kernel 8th inning.
Trumbo.
You knew we were in trouble when we had runners at first and second, nobody out in the 4th inning, didn't score. Had runners at first and second in the 6th inning, didn't score. And then a leadoff walk issued by Ryan Aldridge to Bobby Mosby set the tone for the Dayton comeback in the top of this 8th inning. They scored 2 runs without getting the ball out of the infield. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Mark Trumbo. And that's hard to do, folks. That's hard to score 2 runs without getting the ball out of the infield, but the Dragons did it. The 0-1 to Mark Trumbo from the tall right-hander Justin Mallett. Strike 2 called, a fastball. Boy, Mallett looks like one tough kid out there. He looks taller than 6'6". Gigantic feet. He's ahead of Trumbo, 0-2. Fastball rides high to Mark, ball 1. 2 away, bottom of the 8th inning. Kernels took the lead on a 2-out infield single by Brad Kuhn in the bottom of the 7th to plate Madison Edwards, but that lead was squandered by the Kernels. Fastball just inside. The Dragons wanted the call, didn't get it from plate umpire Brad Perdome, and it's 2-2 now to Mark Trumbo. Mark pops one foul behind home plate. There may be a play for the catcher. There is in front of the backstop, Christinovi. Right in front of the TV2 cameraman, Jared. Christinovi caught the foul pop off the bat of Mark Trumbo to end the Colonel eighth inning. What a job by reliever Justin Mallett as he protects the hard-fought-for lead the Dragons got in the top of the eighth inning. Mallett retires the Colonel side in order in the bottom of the eighth inning. After 8, Dayton leads the Kernels 4-3, and you're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Honey, don't throw those cardboard boxes away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we're not allowed to do that. What should I do with them?
Cardboard is recyclable. Just cut the boxes up and flatten the pieces. There's some string in the garage that you can bundle the pieces up with. Make sure you use the string, though, not tape.
Okay, I cut the cardboard boxes up, flatten the pieces, and bundle them together with the string. Now what do I do with it?
Just set it out next to the blue curbside recycling box.
Remember, cardboard is not accepted as garbage. Follow the steps you heard carried out by our happy couple and recycle your cardboard.
Tim Madison takes over on the hill. Tim is answering a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes, only from U.S. Cellular. Brad Beck pitched a third of an inning, struck out the only man he faced. And Tim Madison is on. And before Levita tells you about Tim Madison, Levita, that 4th of July game that starts at 5 o'clock, if you could go over the details of the McDonald's bat giveaway.
The first 1,000 kids 12 and under to enter the gates will receive a free regulation-sized baseball bat courtesy of McDonald's.
And that's on the 4th of July.
That's right.
The Miller Mezzanine Terrace is open to the public for the 5 o'clock game, and after the game, the folks can watch the Downtown Freedom Festival fireworks unfold on Tuesday evening. Tomorrow, let's remind the folks, tomorrow, a special starting time, Lupita, with the Kernels. As you said, I think you got my attention quicker than any commercial announcement could. Fans won't really recognize the Kernels tomorrow.
That's right. They won't be wearing their usual white home jerseys and uniforms. They'll be wearing the 1906 Bunnies uniforms. That's the top and bottoms, and the socks, as you said earlier.
And those can be bid on.
Oh, that's right. They can be bid on during and after the game. So if you like what you see, go ahead and bid.
Tomorrow, the gates open at 1 for a 2 o'clock start. Tim Madison has been a real workhorse for the Kernels, Lupita.
That's right. With a 2-5 record, this is his 25th game appearance. And Tim's ERA is 4.31. Tim's pitched 39 2/3 innings, and he's saved 2 games already. 48 players have hit against him.
Here's a deep drive to right, sending Madison Edwards back and driving it off deep to right. Eric Iman, it's caught by Madison Edwards. 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning on 1 pitch from Tim Madison.
Tim Madison has walked 7 players and struck out 28, and the league is hitting .310 against him.
Tim Madison retires the first man he faces here in the top of the 9th. Oh, boy, our defense was shoddy in that 8th inning, and Ryan Aldridge walked a couple of batters, and as a result, the Dragons capitalized and scored 2 to take the lead in this one, 4-3. Slapping the first pitch foul straight back is Josh Holden. Josh came in to pinch run for Bobby Mosby, and Holden scored in that 2-run Dragon 8th inning. Josh Holden out of West Point grounds one to short. Heinley Stacia circles it, one-hands it, and throws out Holden for the second out here in the top of the 9th inning. Joselito Hernandez has reached 4 times in 4 at-bats today. He's singled, reached on a strikeout on a wild pitch after striking out, reached on a single his next time up, and then reached on a Heinley Stacia error and scored the second run in the Dayton 2-run 8th inning. Hernandez batting .245, a tall right-handed hitter, and ball 1 sinks low to Joselito Hernandez. Joselito Hernandez pops one in the air down the right field line, and down the left field line, coming over near the left field line is Santrell Smith to glove it, and down in order go the Dragons in the top of the 9th inning. We're going to keep it right here as Dayton goes down in order in the top of the 9th inning. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th now, the Kernels will have Brett Martinez, Madison Edwards, and Dallas Morris due up against right-hander Justin Mallett. Let's see if Mallett goes back to the hill to work the 9th inning. Broadcast assistant Levita Hill will have a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard after this afternoon's action. The Kernels are trying to rally, and the Pep Squad, along with Mr. Shucks, are doing their best. Levita, what kind of dance are they doing? Is it a line dance?
I'm not sure how to describe this dance, but when everyone hears this song, they know this is the dance that goes with it. The first time I saw it was on the television show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Well, you wiggle your hips, thrust them back and forth, side to side, and then you take your arm and make it in a lassoing motion.
That's right.
Okay, Colonel Assistant Sonia Massey thinks there's a name for it. Oh, Levita's hair got... Okay, Levita, what did Sonia say the name of the dance is?
It's called the pony dance.
The pony dance, all right. Well, let's hope the pony dance can send the Kernels into a fast gallop to score a couple of runs here in the bottom of the ninth inning and pull this one out of the fire. It will be Justin Mallett on the hill for the Dragons. Levita, I know we've reminded our listeners often, but once again, what time does tomorrow afternoon's game start?
Tomorrow afternoon game starts at 2 o'clock and the game's open at 1.
Okay. And you have a picture, a rendition somewhere of the 1906 Cedar Rapids Bunny uniforms. They have pinstripes, and then could you describe what is on the left front chest?
On the left front chest, there's a picture of a bunny, and he looks like he's leaping.
Oh, he does. Like he's going out of somebody's cabbage patch.
That's right. Like he got caught. He's leaving.
The Cedar Rapids Bunnies will come hopping along your way tomorrow afternoon. As Levita said, a 2 o'clock start, and thanks to the Cedar Rapids Chamber of Commerce and the Cedar Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, they're helping us sponsor the 1906 vintage Bunny uniforms that you can bid on throughout the afternoon tomorrow and tomorrow after the game. Let's see if Brett Martinez can reach against Justin Mallett, the flame-throwing right-hander. Ball one high from Mallett. M-A-L-L-E-T-T. Justin was dressed in Army fatigues when the Dayton bus rolled in earlier this week. He looked like a hip and happening dude. Ball two is high to Mallett. Fashion changes over generations, Levita. I never thought that capri pants would come back. My mom in the 50s wore capri pants.
The capri pants are quite popular.
They sure are.
They're for those who don't want to wear shorts and it's too hot to wear pants.
Yeah.
Capri pants.
For guys, these ridiculously long cargo pants have come back into vogue. Mine come down below or in front of my knees, above my knees. If you're really hip, they go below your knees. A 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss by Brett Martinez. Josh Boots, our Pep Squad leader, is wearing Bermuda shorts this afternoon.
That's right. They are red-clad, and they do fall below his knees.
All right, let's see if Martinez can reach the 2-1 to Brett. Is swatted foul up into the backstop. It's 2-2 to Brett Martinez. We're approaching the top of the hour, and you're tuned to ESPN Radio 1600 KCRG Cedar Rapids. A babysitter has brought a little boy down to say hello to Mr. Shucks right behind home plate. The 2-2 to Martinez here in the ninth inning. Up and in, ball three to Brett. Brett Martinez has run the count full. And now a little girl is giving Mr. Shucks a hug.
That's right. Mr. Shucks is popular this inning.
He sure is. That babysitter's taking that little boy back up into the stands. Here's the payoff pitch to the Colonel catcher. High pop foul, doinks off the facade of the grandstand roof, and that usually, well, our equipment manager just now sees the ball. Usually when one ricochets off the facade of the grandstand roof, Ron Klein, the Colonel equipment manager, sprints out onto the field to retrieve it. He didn't see it. So the first baseman guarding the line, Jabalito Hernandez, picks it up. The next payoff pitch to Brett Martinez from the tall Dayton right-hander. Ground ball to second, and down to get it is DeJesus on to first. One away here in the Colonel ninth inning. Brett had a good at-bat. He ran the count full. He put the ball in play, but he strokes it on the ground out, and that's 4 in a row retired by Justin Mallett. One out here in the ninth inning. Boy, this would be a tough one to let slip away, but the Colonels have 2 more bullets in the chamber trying to get a man on and tie the game to send it into extra innings or win the game with a couple of base runners aboard here in the ninth inning. Fastball at the letters, strike one called to Madison Edwards. The Kernels are embroiled in their 32nd one-run game of this season. Lost here Thursday night 4-3, bounced back Friday night with an 8-4 triumph, won last night 7-2, swing and a miss by Edwards, strike two. The Dragon right-hander, Justin Mallett, looks to be almost untouchable right now. This broadcast booth is heated up a bit, but it's still very comfortable. The 0-2 is outside, a fastball to Madison Edwards, left-handed batter. 4-3 Dragons, bases empty, one out, bottom of the ninth inning. The 1-2 to the left-handed hitter, Madison Edwards. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, and there are two out here in the Colonel ninth inning. And the batter now is Dallas Morris. Can Dallas repeat the magic he showed us leading off the third inning when he belted his sixth home run of the year up onto the Whirling Waters Mix 96.5 FM Westdale Mall home run hot tub? That gave the Kernels a 2-0 lead. The first pitch to Morris. Look out, a check swing roller off to the right, strike one. 4-3 Dragons. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. And there are two out. Dallas Morris will try to start a two-out rally. The 0-1. Slapped foul over the backstop, and that's strike two. Two unearned runs by the Dragons in the top of the eighth inning are the difference in this game. Dayton leads it 4-3. Even though the Kernels have out-hit the Dragons 9-6. Those two errors plus two walks in the eighth inning are the difference in this ball game. Justin Mallett comes set. The tall right-hander's 0-2 is outside for ball one. Ondrusek, Logan Ondrusek, is the pitcher of record in this game for Dayton. Ryan Aldridge, the pitcher of record for the Kernels. A little looper off to the right, and it's caught! It's caught to end the game. A terrific catch by Jabalito Hernandez, ramming into the Dick Ramsey sign, and Mallett gets a big hug from Kristen Obi. What a great effort by the Dragons this afternoon. They rally from a 2-0 and 3-2 deficit to gain a split in the series, 4-3. Ooh, this is a tough one to swallow at home. The Kernels trying to win for the third time in a row. Let this one slip away due to a miserable eighth inning. Dayton wins. The Kernel record in one-run games slips to 12-20. 4-3 Dragons. We'll have the totals and highlights coming up for you in just a moment on the Colonel Curtain Call. It's a happy bunch of Dragons congratulating each other between the mound and second base as Dayton wins it 4-3. Totals, highlights, and more coming your way next on the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kickin' mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
A glorious Sunday afternoon. The Kernels had a chance to take the series against Dayton, led 2-0 after 3 innings, led 3-2 going into the 8th inning, but the Dragons had too much resiliency and took advantage of a couple of walks and 2 Kernel errors to win it 4-3. Those walks and errors came in the 8th inning. The Dragons got great relief pitching from right-hander Justin Mallett, who earns his second save in this series. He retired 6 straight Kernel batters, 3 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th, to preserve the Dragon 4-3 win. This is the Kernel Curtain Call. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG Cedar Rapids. The Kernels took the lead in this game in the first inning. Larry Infante singled with 1 out and scored on a Heinle Stacia double belted over the head of B.J. Szymanski in right. Infante scored on Stacia's team-high 21st double of the year. Kernels led at 1-0. Dallas Morris made it 2-0 Kernels with a leadoff home run onto the Whirling Waters Mix 96.5 FM Westdale Mall home run hot tub. That was in the 3rd inning, and the Kernels led it 2-0. Anthony Ortega pitched very well in his Kernel debut. The 20-year-old Venezuelan right-hander allowed 1 run in this 4th inning. It was a tape measure home run by Bobby Mosby, who hammered it over the 378 mark onto 8th Avenue to cut the Kernel 2-1 lead in half. It was the 7th of the year for Bobby Mosby. The Dragons tied the game in the top of the 7th inning. They did so on a leadoff homer off of Tim DeJurgis by Adam Rosales. Rosales' home run, his first of the year, tied the game 2-2. The Kernels then took the lead in the 7th inning. Madison Edwards walked, facing Logan Ondrusek. Madison stole second, went to third on a ground ball out to short by Dallas Morris, and scored on an infield single by Brad Kuhn. Kuhn's infield single gave the Kernels a 3-2 lead after 7 innings. In the fateful top of the 8th inning, Ryan Aldridge walked Bobby Mosby on a 3-2 pitch. Jovelito Hernandez then stroked a double play ball to short. It was mishandled by Heinle Stacia for an error, and the Dragons used that walk and error to take the lead in the game. After Kristen Obi struck out, Mike DeJesus grounded one to first. It hit off the chest of Mark Trumbo into foul ground for an error, and the bases were loaded with only 1 out. Ryan Aldridge struck out Mike Griffin, but then walked Adam Rosales to force in a run. Then he hit Jay Bruce to force in another run. So the Dragons did not get the ball out of the infield in the 8th inning, yet they took advantage of 2 Kernel errors, 2 walks and a hit batsman, and they scored 2 runs. That was all she wrote for the Kernels as right-hander Justin Mallett came in and retired the Kernels in order in the 8th and in the 9th, and Dayton wins it by a run, 4-3. The Dragons won Game 1 of this series 4-3. The Kernels bounced back Friday night with an 8-4 win, a complete game victory for Robert Moose Mosbach, and then last night with 4 Jordan Wren's RBIs and 8 brilliant innings from Tommy Mendoza, the Kernels dumped Dayton 7-2, but the Dragons score 2 runs, both unearned, in the top of the 8th inning and edged the Kernels today 4-3. Here's the final line score for Dayton: 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They stranded a dozen. The Kernels 3 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. We left 5. Winning pitcher, his second victory of the series, Logan Ondrusek, he's 3-2. The Kernel loser, Ryan Aldridge, 1-3, and the save goes to Justin Mallett, his 3rd of the season, his 2nd of the series. The game took 2 hours and 56 minutes, and a crowd of over 2,400 were here to see the Dragons gain a split in the series with a 4-3 victory this afternoon. The kids are enjoying running the bases thanks to Velocity Sports Performance and they really are having a blast on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon. 4-3 Dragons will be back with the PRC play of the game in just 1 minute here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared at Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium, a sun-drenched Sunday afternoon, second day of July, and the Dayton Dragons won the series finale to gain a split with the Kernels, 4-3 Dayton. The Kernels and Dayton split their 8 games this year. Out of 8 games, each team won 4. It's time now for our PRC play of the game. We have 2 important We have 2 important rays of light to shine on PRC this afternoon. First, Dallas Morris's leadoff home run in the 3rd inning onto the Westdale Mall Whirling Waters Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub gave the Kernels a 2-0 lead. It also resulted in PRC donating $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. That's right, every Kernel home run hit this year means $25 from PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir, and Morris's home run, his 6th of the year, was number 47 for the Kernels this season, and it now means that the contribution from PRC's Community Care has grown to $1,175 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. Now our PRC play of the game. The Dragons, with 2 out, loaded the bases in the 6th inning. The Kernels led the game 2-1. Dayton had the bases loaded 2 out, and Mike Griffin was at the plate for the Dragons. Here's our PRC play of the game.
No, you never go back. Strike 2 called to Mike Griffin. Now a shot to short. Stacia has it. Throws to second. Ouch! Wow! A game-saving play for now by Heinley Stacia. A one-hop bullet hit at Heinley's feet. He had to back up, throw from deep in the hole to the second baseman, and he did it. Heinley did it. It forces Mike DeJesus 6-4, and what an inning for Jim DeJurgis as Heinley Stacia gloved that one-hop rope and threw to second for the force out. Billy Gardner Jr. is
kept the Kernels ahead in the game, 2-1 in the 6th inning. That's our PRC play of the game. Heinley Stacia standing his ground on a scalding one-hop bullet off the bat of Mike Griffin. Stacia fed Infante for the force of DeJesus to keep the Kernels ahead. PRC, a job at PRC is a job you'll love. Their benefit package is known as Life Essentials, and the benefit package includes a 401k retirement savings plan, also casual dress code, a flexible schedule, and medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, all a part of the Benefit Life Essentials package at PRC. Learn more about the fabulous career opportunities at PRC by logging on to their website, www.prcnet.com. 4-3 Dayton. Our final segment of the Kernel Curtain Call is still coming up. We have lots of scores to share with you next. Kernel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill will have a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard next here on the Kernel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Rolling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
On this gorgeous sunny afternoon, Dayton wins at 4-3, scoring 2 unearned runs on 2 walks and 2 Kernel errors in the top of the 8th, and the Kernels and Dragons split their 8 games this season, 4-4. It's time now, thanks to Kernel broadcast assistant Levita Hill, to take a complete look at the scores from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Thank you to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn for this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. There are an amazing 9 games completed this afternoon, 4 still going on, and 2 yet to be played. At Turner Field, the Braves whipped the Orioles 10-3. The Red Sox crept past the Marlins at Dolphin Stadium 4-3, while at RFK Stadium, the Nationals derailed the Devil Rays 6-2. At Great American Ballpark, the Reds bowed to the Yanks 3, and the Tigers crept past the Pirates at PNC Park 9-8. The Cardinals knocked off the Royals 9-7 at Busch Stadium. And at Wrigley Field, the Cubs offended the White Sox 15-11. At the Metrodome, the Twins shut out the Brewers 8-0, while the Phillies turned back the Blue Jays at Rogers Center 11-6. That's the Phillies turned back the Blue Jays at Rogers Center 11-6. And at Angel Stadium, our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, are currently ahead of the Dodgers 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th. At the Coliseum, the A's trail the Diamondbacks 3-1 in the top of the 9th. And at Safeco Field, the Mariners hold a 2-1 advantage over the Rockies in the bottom of the 7th. Yet to be played tonight at 8:05 Eastern Standard Time at Americrest Field, Rangers and Astros, and Mets and Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Thanks again to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn for that look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Thanks to them, and thanks to you, Luvita. And a final reminder, tomorrow the gates open at 1, the game starts at 2, and the Kernels will be wearing vintage 1906 Cedar Rapids Bunny uniforms, complete uniforms, and those can be bid on throughout the afternoon tomorrow. It's sponsored by the Cedar Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Cedar Rapids Chamber of Commerce. We hope to have Tim Boyle and Amy Johnson from those 2 organizations with us here in the booth for part of the game tomorrow afternoon. And then, Luvita, the 4th of July, if we could review one more time, tomorrow's game starts at 2 o'clock. The 4th of July game, if you could set the time and the deal for the Miller Mezzanine Terrace and the giveaway.
The game starts at 5 o'clock. Gates open at 11. Miller Mezzanine Terrace is open to the public, just $25 a person. And that does include food and beverage. Children 5 and under are free. There will also be a bat giveaway thanks to McDonald's, and these are regulation-sized baseball bats for kids 12 and under, the first 1,000 to come. Once again, gates open at 4, games at 5. Can't wait to see you here.
On the 4th of July, yes, Luvita said it best. Meet us at the stadium for the 4th of July game on Tuesday starting at 5. Tomorrow, we'll be with you at 1:40 on 1450 KMRY. We're on 1450 KMRY tomorrow at 1:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. This afternoon, the Dragons rally and win it 4-3 to gain a split in the series. It was our pleasure bringing you the action. Special thanks to our guests from Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, the Kendalls and Sturtzes, and also a very big thanks to Gary Sevick and his team from ComSpeed, Internet at the speed of light. They have joined the Kernel family, and we're glad to have them with us. For Kernel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill. Oh, Luvita, I forgot to ask you, are you going to have plans in the Chicagoland area with your family? If so, when and what will you be doing?
Yes, actually, John, tomorrow, the 4th is my best friend's birthday. So I'm going to go home for her and her birthday, spend the day with her, and it's her 21st, so it's a big one. And we're going to visit some of my family, some of her family, some other friends' family. We're all one big family in Chicago. That's how it works. For the 4th of July, my plans will be with my best friend.
Well, that's great, and I'm sure she'll appreciate that. For Kernel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill and Kernel Assistant Sonia Massey, I'm John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels, bidding you a great rest of your Freedom Festival and 4th of July weekend. This afternoon, the Kernels fizzled a bit down the stretch. Dayton won it 4-3. 4-3 Dragons, 1:40 tomorrow afternoon. South Slope Communications Triple Play Showtime on 1450 KMRY. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.